RacerTV's coverage to the 2015 Ironman GNCC National. A lot to be decided here today. Walker Fowler has the points lead. Adam McGill wants it. 2 riders, 1 championship, 1 race left. Looking like this one's going to go down to the very last lap, as it has all season long. One more thing into consideration, Cole Richardson, XC2 champ, newly crowned, now into the mix, running the XC1 Pro class. Anything can happen here today, so it's drama in the heartland.
This course today, plus we've still got UTV racing to come up a little later on. And as Matt Watson pointed out to the RacerTV folks at home, we have a championship to be decided, and we have a historic racing about to take place. For the only 4th time in 22 years will we crown a new champion at the end of this day. Who's it going to be? That's the big question. 19 points separate Walker Fowler and Adam McGill heading into this final battle. Lots of things can happen. And the one thing that everyone keeps saying is, this is the Ironman, and anything can and will happen. We'll see what happens at the end of 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, as we turn our attention to turn number 1, where we introduce to you our starting lineup for this Amsoil Ironman GNCC. Rolling to the line first today, he rides aboard the number 2 with a 19-point lead. He hails from Rogers, Ohio, in an Infab and Pro Yamaha, backed by Maxxis, MFT, and Graphics Works, winning the first ever ATV youth race that took place here in 2004. Put your hands together for Walker Fowler. Rolling to the line today, second in points. He rides aboard the number 521, hailing from West Union, West Virginia, on a CST, Pirate MX, LSR, Derisi, tire blocks, and SG-backed Honda, Adam McGill. Rolling to the line today, third in points. He rides aboard the number 4. They call him the Cobra, from Casca, Pennsylvania, on a JMR, ATVRiders.com Honda, Jared McClure. Rolling to the line next, he will be giving up that number 1 plate at the end of Chris Borich. Rolling to the line today, 5th. Ohio, now backed by Maxxis and B. Neal Motorsports on the Yamaha, Bryson Neal. Rolling to the line today, 6th in points. He rides aboard the number 5, recently wrapped up the XC2 Pro-Am Class Championship for his 2nd time. From Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, on an Infab and Pro Yamaha, backed by Maxxis, MXP, and Lone Star, it's the Cole Train, Cole Richardson. Rolling to the line today, 7th in points, his final start as an XC1 Pro GNCC racer. From Irwin, Pennsylvania, on a Biffle Racing Maxxis Precision Pack Machine, one of the original Killer Bees, Chris Biffle. Rolling to the line today, 8th in points. He is riding aboard the number 9 from Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. One of the youngest riders on the starting line today, from Coastal, on a Coastal Waynesburg, MXP, Axis, Lone Star back, Yoshimura Yamaha, Jay Shadron. Rolling to the line today, 9th in points aboard the number 341. He hails from Edina, Ohio on a Wolf Racing backed Honda, Ryan Wolf. Rolling to the line next today, 10th in points. He rides aboard the number 16 from Aurora, Ohio. Recently wrapped up a co-team hare scramble championship of the world just 1 week ago on a GBC factory Yamaha backed by HMF, Johnny G. Johnny Gallagher. Rolling to the line today in 11th place in points aboard the number 13 from Akron, Ohio on a Maxxis B&R Moose Racing backed Yamaha, Josh Merritt. Rolling to the line today, 12th aboard the number 376 from Green Valley, Missouri. Welcome to the GNCC Racing Nation, Tucker Wyatt. Rolling to the line next, he is 13th pick today aboard the number 934 from Marietta, Ohio on a Team Woodhead Baldwin Motorsports Maxxis backed Honda, Braden Hinthorn. Rolling to the line next, he rides aboard the number 14 machine. He hails from Manchester, Maryland on a show hauler Maxxis Cycle Barn backed Honda, Landon Wolf. A former morning overall champion coming to the line next. He rides aboard the number 201, making his XC1 Pro Racing debut from Carroll, Ohio on a Pierce Performance Maxxis Moose-backed Yamaha, Cody Collier. And last, and certainly not least, one of Indiana's own, from Petersburg, on a thick racing-backed Honda, the number 997 of Marshall Goings. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for this, the Amsoil Ironman GNCC. A couple of moments for these machines to fire them up and to warm them up and to get those last few rituals underway and out of the way before the green flag waves and GNCC racing gets underway here in the great state of Indiana. It all began back in 1995, 20 years ago this weekend, and we set to embark upon our third decade here with our 21st running of this, the Ironman itself, as all attention now turns up toward turn number 1, where Ricky Towery makes his way to take his post and to ready these riders for battle for the final time in 2015. A long and grueling championship, one that had a lot of questions at the beginning when we rolled into Florida. A few questions answered on that day, but many more were left open. And as the season progressed, more and more questions began to be asked until finally it was obvious we were looking at crowning a new champion in 2015. The only thing was, who was it going to be? It looked like Adam McGill was well on his way to being the next GNCC champion, but trouble arose at round 10 whenever he rolled into the Unadilla GNCC, finishing 9th place and losing several points in the process. He has been trying to dig himself out of the hole since that point. In order for him to win today, he would have to take a first place win, and to win that championship, Walker Fowler would have to finish at least 11th place or further back if Adam McGill was to win. There are a few other scenarios that are shaping up. We'll be sure and pass those all along to you as time progresses. But right now, Ricky Towery readies our riders and lets them know it's about time to go GNCC racing in 1 minute, guys. 1 minute before this Ironman GNCC gets underway and the history of this season finally gets to post its final chapter. The big question is, will it be the dream ride? The ride that dreams were made of, the one that everything falls into place for one? Or will it be another day at the park and in the office for Walker Fowler as he looks to claim this championship? Less than 30 seconds to go, guys. The blue flag waves. Shut them down, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down. I got to ask you, Indiana race fans, are you ready to go GNCC racing? Well, I know you guys can do better than that. I've been here before, and I know that we can get a lot more noise than that. And I'm going to ask you, Indiana racers and race fans, are you ready to go Ironman GNCC racing? 10 seconds. And row number 1, the XC1 Pro, will be off and rolling here at the Amsoil Ironman GNCC. $250 hole shot up for grabs. All balls, bearings, and components, and our good friends at Hot Cams unleashing the beast. And the beast unleashed today by the 521 of Aaron McGill on that Baldwin-powered machine of his as he takes $250 in that turn, that second turn. We got all kinds of riders tied up. Chris Borich is it, but no sign of Walker Fowler. He got through clean. XC2 Pro-Ams coming up next. Marty Christopherson, Fred Marley, Randy Hamilton, James Green, Jonathan Bugate, Levi Cohen, Robbie Piccarori, Tommy Kuntz, or AJ Kuntz, I should say, Christian Meyer, Kenny Schick, Shay Dickinson, Brett Music, Danny Rogers, Bryson Hobbs, Matthew Lindell, Rylan Johnson, Braden Nichols, Andrew Connors, Jeremy Reeves, Cameron Bruce, Blake Meyer, Austin Gorley. Also, we got Jason Boyce, Jay Humphrey, Greg Covert, Wesley Wolf, Michael Lancaster, and Jake Stonebreaker ready to roll in 10 seconds. $100 hole shot up for grabs right here, my friends. Who's it going to be? It's, oh, mercy, takes a spill after getting $100 extra. That's the 668. And I'm not real sure who the 668 is, but anyway, he got $100. Next one, Junior A 22 plus coming up next. This is row 3. We got Nathan Hornacek, Michael McAvoy, Matthew King, Dalton Hicks, Cody Mofflett, Dustin Thacker, Joshua Beach, Duck Lloyd, Jacob Torney, Will Cashin, Steve Covert, Dwight Pollard, Angel Knox, and Dustin Piggott. 10 seconds. And that's right, you heard me say Angel Knox, a 3-time women's class champion, lining up in the Junior A class today. And it is the number 723, Angel Knox. Angel Knox, your WXC champion, just grabbed the hole shot in the Junior A 22 plus class. Angel Knox just grabbed the hole shot. Up next, the Vet A 28 plus, Jeff Pickens, Tom Muscala, Wes Stone, Lance Palmer, Nick Carnelli, also Jeremy Flood, Dane Heilman, Bruce Weiland, Kenneth Kelly, Tommy Thompson, Kyle Kaufman, Michael Palmer, Richard Palmer, also Joshua Lynn, Aaron Prigden. 10 seconds. Walter Schumacher, Dustin Hendershot, Adam Reed, Corbin Knox, and Matt Hanna. And they're off. I'm still excited about Angel's hole shot there a moment ago. Here we go. I think that was a 901 of Matt Hanna out of New Concord, Ohio. ATV 4-play, Greg's ATV, and Pro Graphics sponsored ride. College A, 16 to 21, Drew Landers, Nick Royalty, Jared Swartz, Jonathan Cook, Dylan Landenbecker, also Devin Freehon, Jeremy Nemechek, Andrew Herring, Brandon Eichert, Hillary Silverthorne, Noah Landis, Wyatt Wilkin, Austin Abney, Anthony Barnes. 10 seconds. Travis Pettit, Hayden Mickelson, welcome here, buddy. Tyler Wares, Randall Ryden, Josh Haney, David Soder, Bodie Lambro, and Kellen Asplaw. Welcoming Hayden Mickelson out of Iota, Minnesota. That is actually one of our top ATV motocross stars here with us today. Coming to race his first GNCC ever as the 703 takes the early lead in this one. And I believe that brings us to our next class, if I'm not mistaken, our senior AB 38 plus class. We'll double check that as these guys get set to go, waiting on Ricky Towery's call. 10 seconds. How you doing, buddy? And the senior AB class is off and rolling now. And we check them out now, and it is going to be the 401 of Jason Smith out of DeSoto, Kansas on a Shockworks GBC Motorsports Liat back machine. Junior B 22 plus class. We got a three-way shootout going on for the championship, including in that battle, Eric Holyfield, Robert Matt, Brett Fike, Robert Blystone, James Mauger, Ryan Sales, Michael Bodiak, also Sam Bunch, Caleb Bailey. 10 seconds. Travis Matthews, John Hyde, Dustin Cowan, Brett Harris, Zane Spear, Brian Felicki, another rider in that championship battle, Chase Levy, Brad Russell, Ray Perry, Tyler Wiley, P.P. DeMarco, and Jeffrey Inman, along with Derek Murray and Tom Jones and Cody Wolford. It is the 077 Eric Holyfield. Holyfield has taken over the lead, and he is in hopes if he can win this one, he will win that Junior B 22 plus title. It all comes down to this race for the 77. The Bet B 30 plus class, Jeremy Gouchard, Timothy Wolf, John Angles, Casey Edwards, Brian Wells, Nathan Yates, Mark Watham, Lyle Morrison, Jeff Wagner, Will Jones, Gregory Westfall, Jared Webb, CJ Mullet, John Salsa, John Colvin, along with Rich Robb, Brett Daler. 10 seconds. Justin Groff, Dale Banson, Daniel Webb, Brian Locke, and Charlie Rogers. And they round the first turn, jockeying for position yet again. It is the 61 of Jeremy Gouchard from Mansfield, Ohio, on a GT Thunder Evans Power Sports Amsoil back machine. He's first in synthetics. College B, 16 to 21, Brandon Montz, also Ben Birds, Tom Schaup, Caleb Hagan, Dustin Atkinson, Travis Barr, Jacob Ripley, Ben Feist, Joseph Yerkson, Cade Vanderpool, Bobby Dukard, Lawson Miracle, Weston Scott, Mason Pratt, Austin Kautsky, Darren Milton, Donald Boylan. 10 seconds. Cameron Horton, also Dakota Westcott, Peyton Wallace, Frankie Egress, Colton Cap, Shane Patton, Chandler Berner, Logan Rhodes, Nick Masterlangelo, Tyler Creel, Trey McDaniel, Landon Williams, Taylor Zaring, Eli Kiger, Luke Helvey, Shane Kittle, Ryan Bovis. I believe it was 319 grabbing the early lead. That one, Travis Barr. We also got Justin Kramer, Jamie Wells, Scott Pearson, Tanner Walker, and Austin Smith in this class taking off right there. And that is the final class off and rolling. Some championships up for grabs. We'll try to keep you in check on that. Angel Knox, our three-time WXC rider, leading the Junior A class out of the gate. And a championship yet to be decided. We got a lot to go as GNCC Live continues here on Racer TV.
This Racer TV live broadcast is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. By Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. By Maxxis Tires, find your flow. And powered by Yamaha Generators.
Hey, welcome back to GNCC Racing Live. I'm Fred Andrews here with Matt Megawatt at the Ironman GNCC here in beautiful Crawfordsville, Indiana. As you can see from the screen so far, the weather is perfect for racing here. The fields are nice and tacky. The mud holes are up. Hundreds and hundreds of people are down there at the water holes watching people get stuck. This place is one of my favorite races of the year just because the weather seems to always be good. And it's a race I've always wanted to win on the bike side, but I never did. I came in second more times than I'd like to say.
I thought you did win here, Fred, to be honest with 4 second places.
Yeah, way too many second places, but you know, it's just the last race of the year and everybody remembers how you did the last race. So you always come out here to try to do your best. I never ever did win, but I gave it my best, just like these guys are here today. You know, we've got a big crowd as usual out here.
Amazing crowd. Like you said, a little bit of everything on this course. We've got high-speed sections, we've got technical sections, always have the mud hole, and always have one of the biggest climbs on the circuit, Ironman Hill, of course, Fred. And you know what? When you talk about crowds, always one of the largest crowds in the season.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, it's a great facility. You can see a lot of things going on here in the Ironman Hill. It's not the steepest hill, but it's just you don't get a run for it. Or you come right out of the creek and those guys are dragging water up, so that only makes it slippery, but that's where everybody's at. You know,
It's a somewhat technical climb. That gets congested. Like you said, when you start dragging the water uphill, man, oh man, the run gets shorter and shorter. But when you're trying to come out of that creek and get a good clean run at it, it's going to be very important that you don't have traffic in front of you, or you don't have somebody blocking that good line.
yeah, you know, you can see from the picture there, there's more than one way up, so that's what makes it nice. If you don't want to go for that big hill and worry about not making it, flipping end over, and you can go around it. They got a nice trail that goes around. Yes, it is a little longer, but you'll see the main guys, they can't afford to go around. They have to go up that hill.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to take the preschool course, you're allowed, you know, and that's there for you to do. But you're going to have to make that decision. Can we make the climb? Is it clear to make that climb? Are we going to save some time? Is it going to be worth the risk, Fred, if we do make a mistake? So there'll be some decisions made there on the fly.
Yeah, you know, it's mainly just, you know, the first lap may be a little hectic, but once the race gets going on, if you're downtime and trying to catch the guy ahead of you, you've got to take that hill. And I'm pretty sure all these guys will take it every time unless somebody gets stuck. You know, if somebody gets stuck on the hill, then it's, oh no, now what do I do? You know, because that's the only line you've taken. So hopefully the line that you pick further down the hill is the right one.
Yeah, if not, man, things are just going to start to compound quickly for your day. It's going to turn real bad. What you're looking at right now is a lot of high-speed sections we're following. I'm talking 4th and 5th gear right now, Fred. These guys have the opportunity to get on the back of the seat, grab that extra gear, and if you need to make that pass, right there's a good place to do it.
Yeah, that for sure, and it's great for spectating. You know, this is one of the few races where they've got these huge, big, I believe that was a bean field this year, that these guys can run their bikes harder than normal. You can see a lot of wheel-to-wheel racing, and too, the speeds, they're really high speeds out there today.
Fred, you grew up in the Ohio area. I'm a West Virginia guy. Very similar terrain. Now, we don't have as big an elevation change. Actually, probably have the biggest elevation change in the state right here on the Schaefer's farm. But I can tell you, very similar dirt consistency, very similar in the amount of stone, very similar in the tree roots, that kind of thing. So it really relates to a lot of our riders no matter where they're from.
Yeah, this is like our core racing type of dirt area, hills and rocks and the creek and all that. It's what we're used to, and it's just amazing how many people come out every year because, you know, the Ironman. Everybody knows the Ironman because of Bob Sloan, and that's what it's named after. And everybody comes out to support him and what he was to UTV racing or ATV racing.
How cool is it to put up moose tape in a cornfield, put up the hay bales, put up the repeater banner, and really lay out some high-speed sections in what's prep dirt to grow America's food. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now we're racing dirt bikes in the finest dirt that farmers can ask for.
That is for sure. You know, I was here last Thursday, I came here and dropped off our Rocky Mountain KR4 trailer, and this place was bone dry. So luckily, Mother Nature gave us some rain, gave us some moisture, because the racing cannot be any better today.
I tell you, Fred, you mentioned similar conditions every year. The only thing we did miss this morning was about a half-inch of snow, and that would put us into past event memories. But last year, much colder than this, and I believe driving rain for a part of the event last year, if I remember correctly. And here we're starting off today. Nominal temperatures, right about 60 degrees. No precipitation so far, and we don't have any sun beating down on us so far. So we're in good shape today, Fred.
Yeah, this is a race these guys are going to really enjoy. With the dirt out here, though, with this moisture that we did get, it's going to start to get little bumps because that ground out there from growing crop for us to eat is really, really soft. So they're going to start to get a whole bunch of little kicker bumps, and it's going to start to get some ruts and grooves where normally these guys aren't used to on some of the other tracks that we race that are in the woods where where the ground's harder. This ground gets turned over and gets freshened up and gets lighter, so there's going to be some ruts out there from those big high-speed fields for sure.
No doubt about that. The consistency of the dirt just going to make everything from good bumps to good ruts. And you know what? Even going to set up some good turns for these guys all throughout the course, because what you have here is you have ideal turn-making dirt. You're going to get a good berm. You're going to be able to use multiple lines in there, because wherever you go, you're going to create a new line with this surface.
Yeah, and usually, the four-wheelers out there on the turns, they make them big, flat, and polished. Well, that doesn't happen out here. This dirt is soft. They're going to start to get two ruts, and after a while, you'll see these guys coming in the turns. They're going to almost be two-wheeling. And I believe this might be our leaders coming right now to one of the infamous mud holes. As you can see how deep that water is, and they just take their time just creeping their way through there.
You know, Fred, these guys work their way around this. I believe that's down on the bottom. And when you look at this, you can already see how far they've drugged the water out of the creek, man. That was bone dry. That corner this morning was bone dry.
Yeah, and I was wrong. It's not our leaders, I don't think, or maybe it was. You can see, look at all the people in the big hills that they're going up, and they really don't get a run for it.
I believe
that was leaders. I think that was, the guy from Ohio leading.
The guy from Ohio.
Yeah,
all right.
I think that was Brian Wolf, actually. But don't quote me on that one. But that's who it looked like from his riding style in the moose gear. And you can see he went to the left, and everybody else is going to the right. So I'm not sure if he had a hot line or not, or what was going on. And this is one of our top guys right here, showing the Yamaha colors of the year. That may be Walker Fowler. Or Johnny Gallagher.
It's number 2 on the back, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but whoever that is, they were circling around there trying to figure out which way to go, which is kind of unusual.
You know, already seen several different line choices from only about 3 riders. I think each one of them used a different line through there, Fred. So that's an indication of exactly how this creek's going to play out here today. There's going to be lines all over that bottom right there. Everybody's going to need a helping hand at some time or another, because that thing's going to get a bottleneck before it's over with. Somebody's going to get hung up sooner or later, and that's going to create the drama.
Yeah, once we start to get in the back markers start coming through again. Right now it's pretty clear, but once we start getting that traffic, like you said, it's going to start to back up, and there's going to be some serious chaos going on that hill. But then that's when they're just going to move down a little bit. They're going to take the easier way around it. And you can see this, no shortage of spectators down there. Everybody's down there for the Ironman hill. And like you see, the guys that's coming through the creek here, they're taking their time, because you don't want to force the issue going through there. If you go there too fast, you end up getting your water all over your hands, all over your body, all over your gloves and stuff, and that's not what you want to do. Once your hands get wet, and with this mud and the temperature's you don't have to worry about your hands getting cold, but when your hands get wet like that, you can't hold on very well.
What happens on today, Fred, in a set of conditions like we have, you don't want to go full-on mud prep with the quad, but you want to take precautions because you're going to find those sections out there.
And you can see these guys are already, that inside line, see how deep that rut is? That guy just about came off the back. These guys are already starting to move out and move out. So this track's going to get wider and wider in these soft spots like that. And we will see a guy stuck on the inside.
No question. It's coming, Fred. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, as a matter of fact, to see exactly how it plays out.
Somebody's going to jump in there and help him out for sure.
You got guys standing down there just for that situation, Fred. They live for the extraction. They live to get that quad out of the hole. They go to multiple rounds. They get their buddies. They stand at the worst spot they can find. They make the human chain. They get these bikes up the hill out of the mud hole. And I can tell you, it's not going to be long before we see spectator participation down there.
No, and it's something they can take home with. Hey, tell their buddies, hey, I helped this guy up that hill. Did you see me pull him out? Without him, he 1-to-1. So we like that.
Oh, there's going to be people showing a bruise on their back tonight saying, that's Adam McGill's front tire dude did that right there. So they're going to take it as a badge of honor. And these guys really love to get down there and help all the riders, not just their favorites. They get involved for all of them. They want to keep the game moving. And for them, that's a part of going to the races.
Yep, there's no doubt about it. Those are the kind of spectators we like. And here in Indiana, they seem like they get a whole bunch of them. Another big hill is I believe it's called the Twin Towers. Maybe there's another big hill that I don't know if we have on camera or not, which is also a spectator spot. So you can see all these people here. Just imagine there's another on the other side of the creek. there's a whole nother big hill with just as many people over there watching.
Yeah, the Twin Peaks also has its own set of challenges because you have a little different angle, a little different. There's our first guy, Fred, up and moving really quick. But as you said, that inside line got him because you're talking about a 2-foot deep rut, already catching brake rotors, already catching rear sprockets.
I think he knew that we were on camera there. He just did that quick. I didn't fall, it wasn't me, and took off. But nope, you're right, Megawatt. It's only gonna get deeper and deeper, and that's what happens in the mud with all this soft dirt like that. But this is where line choice comes in. You know, the smartest guy wins the race. You know,
yeah.
You just don't run and drive yourself into the first turn you see. You got to be looking ahead of you to see where to go. And as you can see, these guys are doing a really good job.
I can tell you, and you're going to agree with me, what's going to create that problem there is follow the leader. Not racing, not taking an alternative line. You're going to get a couple guys riding the same pace, just kind of fixed on each other, and they're going to follow each other in there, and then they're going to be having locked wheels, they're going to have bumpers interlocked, and then they're going to have a problem, and it's just going to get compounded.
You know, and sometimes you wonder, how do these quad guys pass? Because they are playing follow the leader, because, you know, some of the trails are just about quad wide. Well, this is a unique place because we've got these big giant fields, so you can try to pass inside, outside, whatever you want. It's just a real good track preparation here with something different than what we normally get to see.
Fred, it's amazing you mentioned that. How many times have you ripped through a technical section and just wondered how Chris Boris or Adam McGill or Walker Feller brought a quad through the section you're riding on a bike?
Well, I don't know how these guys, you know, you think, well, they only do 2 hours, they can't be in that good a shape. Well, let me tell you, these guys can't miss a bump like we could on a dirt bike. We can go inside, outside, and ride through a rut. These guys are just getting pounded every lap. So my hat is off to these guys for as fast as they go and how rough the tracks get. These guys are in shape. So, you know, we make fun of them. We call them couch racers, but it's way more than that. These guys are in top physical shape, and they cannot find a smooth line.
2 hours, high speed, double the effect on the body of a bike. But stop and think about our 4x4 pro guys, Kevin Trantham, Brian Buchanan, Michael Swift. These guys run 2 hours, Fred. You and I, lifelong bike guys. Have you ever raced a quad, ever?
I raced a quad one time. Kim Coonley let me borrow his at a local race in Ohio. I went around, I got 2 flat tires. I hit every bump out there. I was so mad I couldn't miss a track. I came in and said, Kim, you know what? This ain't for me. I don't know how you do it. My hat is off to anybody that races a quad.
No doubt about that. And that's why my respect level is going so high for these 4x4 pro guys. Not are they out there riding a sport quad, they're out there on 800-pound four-wheel drive machines, man, and they're finishing within 2 seconds of each other at the end of 2 hours.
And as you know, a four-wheel drive quad isn't like a two-wheel where you can spin around. Those things got traction front and rear, and that's an animal you're fighting the whole day long. So those guys got some big muscles, some big arms on them.
And, you know, like you said, you and I used to the technical stuff. You and I used to off-camera stuff. And it just goes through my head sometimes, how is a guy on a quad going to make it through here? The one time only I tried to ride a quad was at the Wisp. And I tell you, Fred, it was just total different. I had to learn to read a track all over again because any line I chose for the bike didn't work for on the quad.
Yeah, on a quad, it's totally different riding style, like you say. You know, Barry Hawk's one of the only guys that made the switch from quad to bike. But if you watch him ride a bike, he still kind of rode it like a quad. He kind of moved around like he was on a quad, but he's one of the few guys that could do it. And you know, these guys here, like you said, they're just bump, pounding the whole time. They can't miss. The only advantage to having a quad is on the rooted sections. You know, those guys coming in the roots. On a bike, you got to make sure the route's going straight, or just make sure you put your front wheel in the right spot. Where these guys with 4 wheels, they can power over it and not have to worry about that route taking the front end out as much as we did on a bike.
Yeah, pretty much get one wheel over it on the quad and keep steady power on, and you're going to be able to make it across. But on that bike, man, you let a little bit of traction loss on that front wheel, and you're eating the roots.
Yeah, I thought maybe we were having our first casualty on the hill here. You can see, you know, these guys are smart. They kind of wait to make sure the hill's clear before they take off. Because worst thing is, if you start up the hill and the guy in front of you doesn't make it, you're done.
You're at his mercy.
Yeah, you can't do anything. He's just going to bounce right off of you.
Believe me, if he's not going anywhere, you're not going through him. An interesting point, Fred. I mean, as soon as these riders make this right-hander, watch the head start to bob, and do I have a clear path? Should I go for it or not?
Yeah, and you can see the spectators, you know, they're helping out. They're pointing them different directions, and most of the guys, they got their heart set on which way they're going, so they're doing good right now. We haven't seen anybody get stuck, but you can see it's getting polished and polished more and more as these guys start dragging that mud and water up the hill.
I'm going to say we're about 9 quads away from a pile up here. We're about 9 quads away from a bottleneck down here, because it's just going to happen that one of those inside ruts is going to catch, and when that guy loses that traction and has to start dog paddling, the other guys are going to be right on top of him.
Yeah, I think you're right, Meg. And right now we're 28 minutes into this race, so these guys are, they still got a good hour and a half left to go out there, and then things are only going to get up. Well, I think we got our first. Yeah, we got our first hold up here. Now,
there it is.
Just what we talked about. Now that guy, he's stuck on the hill. The other guys in front of him, there's nothing he can do. But luckily, the spectators go down there. They grab hold of the grab bar in the front, and they're holding them from falling back. One for the spectators, those guys would be flipping end over end.
Oh, no question. I feel sorry for the guy in the back right now. He had a good line, minding his own business, and gets up there, and the guy in front of him makes a mistake and blocks the whole track. So now he's paying the price.
Yep, and here right now you see the motocross track. This is they have an AMA National Championship motocross. All the big motocross guys come here and race, and we're fortunate enough to be able to ride on it this weekend. And right now, this would be our leader, I believe, coming in to the finish line. We'll try to get an eye on who we think that is. Number 4. As you can see, there's the Coltrane. He's caught back up to all these guys. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Our top 4 or 5 guys are real close. So it's anybody's race right now. That'd be Jared McClure coming around for the second lap in the lead. Brian Wolf in second, Chris Bithell in third, Adam McGill in fourth, Cole Richardson in fifth.
No sign of Walker Fowler anywhere.
And that must have been Walker Fowler at that hill, circling around.
That's probably exactly right, Fred. And we're going to refresh this thing and see what we have going here. But look at this. We got Marshall Goings in 11th place, Jay Shadron in 10th. Holy cow, Josh Merritt, Bryce
Walker Fowler in 12th.
There we go. Walker got his work cut out for him right now because, as we know, Adam McGill running in 4th place right now. If he could work his way up there a little further forward and a little bit of bad luck happens here and there, this is a whole new ball game.
Well, as you saw on the TV there, the top 4 guys, you could throw a blanket over them. So Adam McGill he's in that front freight train where Walker Fowler now, he's behind. And now he's starting to think, oh no, I can't be back there. I got to get to the front. So will he start pushing the issue to try to get to the front? I mean, now it's all nerves are coming into this whole situation. I think.
No question. This is where it's on the line. This is what Walker Fowler's lived for. This is what he's raised to do, my man. This is his moment. And I can tell you, Jared McClure only having 2.5 seconds over Brian Wolf, 1/2 second back to the madman himself, Adam McGill. So I can tell you, right now on lap number 1, McGill not taking any chances. He's watching those lines. He's kind of plotting things. He already knows where Walker is. Now it's do or die time. It's go time for Walker. Almost not able to go into championship preservation in the 12th spot.
Oh, Walker Fowler. He's not thinking about championship right now as far as staying and being easy. He's worried. He wants to get to the front because right now he's got no idea what place he's in. He's going to have to wait till he comes by his pit crew to tell him what place he's in, and they're going to tell him what place Adam McGill's in. But Adam McGill has set him up right where he wants to be. You can't win a race if you're not where you're at, if you're not in with the lead pack, and he's with them right now. So Walker Fowler's going to have to start picking some guys off to get his points back in his favor.
Exactly. As you mentioned, you counted them off as they went through the finish line. 1, 2, 3, 4 is exactly what you said, Fred. Guess who the number 4 rider was? Adam McGill. Last guy in the lead pack. Always in the lead pack, but I have to tell you right now, I believe no unnecessary chances first couple laps from Adam, and then he pours it on.
No, I think you're correct on that. Adam knows he has to win, so Adam's just kind of following around right now, and if he could pass the guy, I'm sure he will, but he's not forcing the issue yet because, you got to be there at the end to win it. And maybe when he comes through the pits this time, this crew says, hey, you're 4th and Walker's 12th, that may give him the thing to say, oh, crap, I got to get to the front now. So it could work both ways.
It absolutely can. We talk about that motivation. We talk about hooking up with guys, pulling yourself to the front and this and that, but also it can work against you. You can make mistake after mistake. You can push somebody a little hard. You can start getting some contact going on. But a lot of little things that'll eat up a second here, 2 seconds there, 3 seconds there, that, you know what, you're not really feeling it on the bike, but just little mistake after little mistake compounding itself.
Yeah, and I think, Walker Fowler's been in this long enough. He knows what his race game is, and he's going to try getting back in that groove and going forward. As you can see, something happened to him the first lap that he fell back that far, but, he knows what he needs to do, and Adam McGill knows what he needs to do. So it's going to be exciting.
I'm almost ready to lay money, Fred, that we're not going to see him in 12th place next time around.
No, I don't think so, unless he is having a bike problems, and I'm sure his pit crew right now has seen him somewhere on the track if he is. Mark Notman and them, they're going to be ready for him if he does need to change something, because they know how important this last race is going to be. As we know, last year, he lost a race, a turn from the end or something, and lost the championship. So this is a big race for Walker Fowler.
Yeah, this is redemption time, no question about it. All hands on deck over there in the AmPro Yamaha team. Those guys are going to identify the problem. They're going to get it fixed. They know the urgency. They know exactly where we're at in the program. And when we take a look at it, Fred, we're talking about a 2-hour race here this morning, and we're already 34 minutes in. So we're almost a quarter of the race, or we're actually over a quarter of the race through. So here we go. Your hill you're talking about coming into play now. Now we have a 3-quad jam up right here. Hello, Gary. How are you, buddy?
And like this here, all it takes is these guys are coming down backwards, and then now we're stuck on the left side. So now these guys got to pick a whole different line.
Now what we're looking at is we're looking at both sides of the hill blocked up. Time to get creative right now, and this is where those people are going to come into play on the side of the track, no question. Hey, looks like our man Rodney's back in. I want to say hello to Gary, one of our favorite AMA officials here. Gary always helping us out at the Ironman Motocross. Always a great guy to work with, always knowledgeable man to hang out with. So a lot of fun and good to see you here today, Gary. I'm going to hand it over to Rodney right now. Going to go take a break, going to make a few adjustments, and we'll be right back.
And just as Megawatt said, you said these guys were all piled up right there, and you could see the one guy, he just went straight through the leaves and made his own trail, just straight up the hill he went. So they're clear again right now, but we know they're going to get clogged up again, Rodney. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and looking at the 8-mile marker here, man, look at how nasty things are starting to get. The hill climb itself may not be so bad, but it's getting to the hill climb that makes it so tough, and all that water and everything that gets drug up that hill, making things very difficult. Another classic Ironman GNCC underway. Rodney Tomlin now joining in the booth along with Fred Andrews, Megawatt, Matt Watson now heading out and about. And Fred, as we take a look at the scenario that is shaping up, I heard you and Megawatt talking about it a few moments ago. I'm going to give you all the scenarios that I was able to come up with. I set up to about 1 o'clock last night trying to decipher and figure this all out. Number one, coming into this weekend, for some reason, I thought there were only 9 points separating them. When I opened the points up last night, I realized 19 points separated first and second place. But that doesn't mean that Adam McGill is out of the hunt for a win and a championship. If Walker Fowler would score no points today, all Adam McGill has to do is finish third or better in order to win the championship. And if Adam wins and Walker Fowler finishes worse than 10th, then, or if Adam wins, and Walker must finish 10th or better. So if as long as he's 10th or better, he still gets the championship. And if he's 11th or further back and he wins, then it would mean that Adam will get the championship. So that's one scenario that broke down. If Walker would happen to finish 20th place overall, Adam can still finish third and win. And if Walker would finish 16th or worse, Adam could finish second and still win. We'll break those down for you if we get into those scenarios coming up later on. But right now, looking at this, Fred, the results with, of course, Adam McGill in the 4th place position, and you look on down through 12th place position right now is where Walker Fowler sits coming into the second lap of racing. This is not a place all season long we've traditionally seen Walker Fowler at hardly any point in the race, and especially this far into the lap, that first lap of racing. So he's got a big gap to try to make up there, but whenever you start looking at it and taking it into perspective, the time frame that you're looking at is really somewhere in the neighborhood of only about 15 seconds that he is separated between himself and the front of the pack, Jared McClure. So as bad as it may sound, it's not as bad as it seems once you look at the actual time deficit between 1st and 12th place. So these guys are kind of tight and kind of close right now.
Yeah, sure, Rodney. Right now these guys are out in the field, and it looks like Jared McClure is still winning. I'm not quite sure on second, but I think the Coltrane's moved up in the 3rd spot, Rodney.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive ride for him, especially coming off of his debut race a couple of weeks ago in Ohio whenever he was struggling so bad. I think he finished 15th or 16th last week, if I'm not mistaken, but yet some tough things going on. But he had some uncharacteristic mechanical issues, I think, that kind of took him out of the thick of things there. But today might be his redemption ride, so to speak.
Yeah, too, right. And I think, your first pro race when you move up from the XC2 class into the big class, you put a little extra pressure on yourself, and I think that's what might have happened to him, you know. Plus he had some trouble, but this race here, he's feeling good. He went from 5th to 3rd, and it looks like he's got himself sorted out and showing everybody that, yes, I do belong here.
Out near the 4-mile marker now. We're into the pro pits. It doesn't appear, Fred, as I say that, we get one coming in, and that is Chris Borich actually making his way in that retro yellow ATV. It looks kind of fitting for him because we're so used to seeing him on the yellow, but that is still the Yamaha that Chris Borich has underneath him. They actually gave him a quick splash of gas. He's got a long road to hoe there as far as catching up to the rest of the field, but after that, well, no, not really. He's all the way up to 7th place, but
I think
that was after that first turn crash.
Right here, Rodney.
Oh.
He's coming in. He just took goggles. I don't even think they gave him gas.
No, he just got fresh goggles. Look how muddy he is. You know, talking about, I heard you talking about how dry it was coming into this. And last week when we had the conference call, we were actually talking about burn bans, no fires whatsoever. It's going to be super dry. We were coming up with alternate plans in case of dryness in the woods, in case fires and stuff like that would come about. But, hey, we don't have anything to worry about. We've got perfect track conditions, and we've got the perfect Ironman GNCC race opening up before our very eyes right now.
That's for sure, Rodney. Mother Nature gave us the moisture that we needed, and you can see these open fields. Man, that dirt cannot get any better. And these top 3 guys, top 4 guys are all real close right now.
Got McClure, Wolf, Bithell, and McGill, your top 4. Looking at lap times, 29:27 for that first lap for McClure, who was your leader. By the way, Cole Richardson only about a second behind McGill, so don't be surprised to see him as a big part of the show today.
No, there's no doubt about it. I think now that he's up there with them, they're not going to get away from him unless he makes a big mistake. You know, he knows how to rise in good shape. He's always been there, coming up from the class behind to catching them. So now he's with them from the front, so he doesn't have to work so hard to catch up. So it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, Rodney, will he start picking more off?
Yeah, and I'm still up in the air on what's going to happen here today, man. I've talked about it. You know, the hype leading into this one was about anything can happen here in GNCC racing, and you know, as this first lap unfolded and now into this second lap, I'm really beginning to believe my own hype, man. I think that we are really in a situation where anything can happen here today. Well, taking a look at these standings right now, McClure, Wolf, Bithell, your top 3. Want to say farewell to Chris Bithell, by the way, who is racing his last XZ1 Pro class here in GNCC racing. He's got a really good job working in the oil and gas field and so forth, so he's been doing that for the last little bit and trying to race ATVs professionally. It's been a little tough for him. He said he had to draw the line someplace, so it was time to finally grow up, he said, and go to work. So he's now hanging up the boots after this race. But, wow, what a ride in the 3rd place position the early part of this race.
Yeah, right now he's not worried about going to work on Monday. He's worried about making this last ride the best he can make it. You know?
No doubt. And, you know, we had a chance to catch up with Chris coming into this weekend.
Looks like this is going to be the end to my era of racing. I've been at this a long time, 9 years pro. I've been at the series a lot longer than that, though. You know, and it's just life's taken me other places. I'm going to miss this. I don't know what I'm going to do on my weekends anymore. But, you know, it's just one of those things. You've been here so long and you just get so used to coming and seeing everybody and all these fans and people that you know. It's going to be a lot to take away from me, but it's just that time. It's been too long, and again, like I said, I'm going to miss everybody here at GNCC. I'm going to miss the fans and all of my sponsors and everything. And, you know, it's just been a long road, and, you know, I couldn't have traded it for anything else. I guess, you know, muddy conditions are sort of my thing. I don't really care for it. I don't want it to rain, but I seem to do well in it. This year at the Limestone, you know, and then Foxburg, PA races, I've won both of those, both just mud out races, and, you know, it was just a battle, and just a battle on your body and yourself to stay focused all day and stuff.
Well, I tell you, it's a sad day that Chris Bithell is hanging up the boots. There's no doubt about it, but the time that he spent here, he certainly offered us a lot of great memories. Chris Bithell, I say thank you for all the great things that you gave us. Everything from, wow, Chris gave us the first ever Can-Am win there in Unadilla whenever they were making that big push in the early part of their four-wheel days, of course. He was a big part of that Can-Am factory effort for many, many years. and only until recently, the last few years, has he been racing on a privateer type team that he put together for himself. But wow, I mean, full circle for that guy, man. He came from nothing, rode the wave, and then of course he goes out, not so quietly, but he goes out the way he came in the back of a pickup truck under an easy up.
No, right, and that shows how much he loves racing and riding in this sport. You know, he started with nothing, he had the factory ride, and then he wasn't afraid to spend his own money to keep on doing what he loved to do. You know, once you get this GNCC racing in your blood, it's hard not to want to come out here and do it. And as you can see, he's doing a great job today, and he's had a really good year this year, and we wish him the best of luck with his new adventure in his oil field.
Yeah, no doubt, and most definitely he'll be coming back, he said, to race some UTV stuff with Kyle Cheney. They'll be going for their national championship here this afternoon, later with the UTV final coming up around 4:30 this afternoon right here on GNCC Live. So stick around on RacerTV.com for that, as that will be coming up. And right now, as we check the scenario and the way things are starting to unfold here, it is Jared McClure leading the Ironman GNCC, and GNCC Live continues after this.
Well, RV is going to help you go camping with locations across the nation and thousands of RVs to choose from. General RV is the nation's largest family-owned RV dealer. At General RV, you'll save thousands on everything from trailers that sleep the whole family right up to motorhomes that are amazing and so economical to travel in. General RV is the only dealer who can show you this much and save you this much. With a great deal from General RV, you'll discover how much fun camping can be.
I'm a sore loser.
I'm a sore loser.
Losing is not an option for me.
Be the best.
The best?
The best.
You have to have the best equipment under the hood.
That's why
I only use
Cometic products in my engines.
Cometic gasket.
Cometic gasket. Cometic gasket.
Cometic gasket, a superior quality gasket
For those of us who demand the highest level of performance.
And welcome back to GNCC Live as we roll through the 21st running of this Ironman here in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Rodney Tom along with Fred Andrews and Megawatt Matt Watson out and about. 46.5 minutes into this race. Jared McClure leading Brian Wolf, Chris Bithell, Adam McGill, and Cole Richardson rounding out your top five. Landon Wolf in 6, Chris Borich in 7. Bryson Neal is 8, Josh Merritt in 9. Jay Shadron rounds out your top 10 at last check, at least at the finish line. Walker Fowler was running 12th place overall behind Marshall Goings. The gap, I think I said somewhere in the neighborhood of only about 15 seconds. Actually, it's about 45 seconds. I did miscalculations there real quick, but regardless, 45 seconds is what separated Walker Fowler to the first place position of Jared McClure. As the Ironman race fans there at Ironman Hill are getting rowdy today, no doubt about that, Fred Andrews.
Yeah, Rodney, you know, like you said, these guys come out here every year, and it seems like the numbers keep on growing and growing just for the spectators to come out and watch all these hills. And I was just thinking how cool it is with all the leaves are down, and you know, just this time of the year, you know, it's Halloween and all that stuff going on, and everybody's out in the woods, and the leaves are down, the creeks are up, and the water's flying, and everybody's having a good time. And that's, you know, that's what we like. We like the people to come out here and have fun and watch some good racing. And today's going to be that kind of day. There's going to be some good racing. It might be good now, but it's going to get better here shortly, I believe, because Walker Fowler, when he came into that pit, I'm sure his pit crew said, hey, you know, we got to pick up some places. Don't push it, but we need to pick some up.
Yeah, I'm quite sure of that. That's, you know, a sense of urgency a little bit, but at the same time, they've got a lot of room to play with and a lot of time to play with. So we're still only 48 minutes into this race. A lot can happen in about an hour and 12 minutes, and Walker Fowler doesn't want to be one that's causing too much commotion out there to put himself behind the 8 ball. And again, it's going to be tough as the race wears on. If he's not making up that ground, it's going to be that sense of urgency that's going to start to prevail. But I got to think that it's going to be, if not easy enough for Walker to score a top 5 or a top 3, at least Walker should be capable of getting a top 10 if everything falls in his direction. And we know that's the case. We've seen it happen time and time again. If it doesn't, we know that something big has happened and the big swing in this battle for the championship, and we'll be keeping a very close eye on this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Walker's definitely not in panic mode right now. He knows the point situation is in his advantage, so he knows where he needs to be. You know, but I'm sure he would like to be a little bit further up in the numbers. You know, he knows that Adam McGill's not winning, so he's even more points to play with. But his comfort zone will definitely be a few bikes more, and we're gonna wait and see here. So we got our AMSOIL Twitter contest going on right now. You know, make sure everybody tweets their prediction, first, second, and third, to hashtag GNCC Live. You know, you get to win $250 worth of AMSOIL product. Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong.
All right.
Just play it.
Just want you to play, man. We want you to be a part of the game. And I think our leaders are coming through right now. Looks like the Cobra, Jared McClure, making his way through that Ironman Creek there and snaking his way around and heading up the Ironman Hill now. Bithell back in the number 2 spot now. And is that?
I believe that's Adam McGill.
McGill up to the number 3 position now as he takes that far right line. Once again, that line is the wettest line, but it seems to be the favored line.
And there goes Cole Richardson. So he went from 3rd to 4th that time, and he's lost a little bit of time. So like the lead pack, Rodney, to me, 1st, 2nd, 3rd are starting to get a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, and so Richardson also looking good. We also have lost one. Where is Brian Wolf in this pack up of the top 5? You know, I talked to Brian Wolf. There's Chris Borch making his way now into the number 5 spot. I talked with Brian Wolf this morning. He told me they did not leave home until 1:30 this morning. They were rolling in about 6 o'clock, actually about 7. He said, I just got here. There's Walker Fowler. Look at that, all the way up to the 6th place position. So the comfort zone he is building up now as he has made his way into a top 6 position. Remember, we told you if he just all he has to do is ride within the top 10, and everything is going to be secured for him today, and he is right where he needs to be.
Yep, Rodney, for sure. And then, you know, this time around when he sees the board, when he comes through the check.
Wow, that's LW there. Landon Wolf checking in the number 7 spot. We got a big different look, I think, to the GNCC top 10 in the XC1 Pro class this week, man. Wolf making some way up, and actually we seen that a couple of races ago when he made the switch to the new brand.
I see Brian Wolf there just now going by too, also going up the hill, so he's still rolling. But yeah, Rodney, you know, this is the last race of the year, so this is a race people are going to remember. So you kind of have a little bit of extra in you. This is where you want to show your sponsors and show potential sponsors that, hey, I did this at Ironman, so you need to help me.
There you go. And Jared McClure was laughing about that this morning. We were joking during pre-race interviews, and he said, yeah, Rodney, you know, I'd really like to win this one, you know, because I'd like to win the Ironman, but he said, I'd also like to win the Ironman because he goes, I get to go all winter with everybody knowing that I won the last race. So he knows you're as good as your last race. And if he could be a winner all winter long, that would be a good, solid winner. And, you know, that would be a good springboard and platform for him to work on heading into 2016. And I have to think, and I have to venture to say, he's already got that going on anyway.
Yeah, he's had a great year this year, you know, done really well, and it's just going to carry over into next year, Rodney. You know, they learned a lot in 1 year, and next year I think they're all going to be in a little bit of trouble.
They are. The next year's championship is going to be so much more, I think, difficult for any one of these riders to win.
I think be consistently winning like that.
And that's really what has won it this year for Walker Fowler. I mean, wins, yes, that's helped out quite a bit, but being consistently up front is what's helped out. He's had a couple of bad races that could have taken him out of it, but so has Adam McGill, and that's the only thing that kept him in. So they both had good, consistent seasons, and they both consistently had a couple of bad races that's got this championship so tight.
Yeah, you know, that's a good thing about this. You know, with the amateur classes, Rodney, they get some throwaways, but in the pro classes, there is no throwaways. They count every race, so you must finish or do the best you can at every event because every single point counts.
It does, and they got the same thing going on in 10 o'clock racing as well, Fred Andrews, with our 4x4 Pro class. And a few years ago, we started a 4x4 Pro class, and it has really turned into something amazing. Brian Buchanan won the first ever inaugural 4x4 Pro. He won the second one as well, I believe, and he was in a heated battle heading into today's 4x4 Pro Class Championship. It was between he, Michael Swift, and I believe Kevin Trantham. Between those three, basically it boiled down to a point of who won the race, who was going to win the overall and the championship. And whenever it was all said and done, Brian Buchanan does it yet again.
RacerTV's coverage of the Ironman GNCC. We're here with this morning's 4x4 Pro winner, champion, and 8-time GNCC champion, Brian Buchanan. Brian, all I know is you know how to make it exciting. You know how to bring the drama right to the end, man. Tell us a little bit about the race and the season.
Oh, man, it's just been a crazy season, you know, ups and downs, and, you know, just a good old theory of hard work pays off at the end, and you got to believe, and I believe that God, you know, looking over me and giving me the ability to ride these machines. It just one heck of a season, and I couldn't be happier with the outcome.
Man, back-to-back 4x4 Pro Championships and 8 total GNCC championships consecutive, dude. That, I don't know, that's got to put you in the record books, I'd say.
Well, I hope so, because it's tough. You know, I'm not sure. It gets harder every year. The competition gets harder every year. You know, teams going against you. Thank goodness I've got such a great support with this Can-Am behind me and my family. You know, that's the key. A lot of hard work, a great team behind you, and my family, literally everybody comes out and gets into these races, and it's I think that's what it takes, is pure heart.
I tell you what, you've got it, that's for sure. 100% effort. You beat some really tough competitors this year, so congratulations, you on a great win today and another championship.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Back to you guys in the studio.
8-time 4x4 champion. I think that's number 3 or 4 4x4 Pro Championships for Brian Buchanan, but an amazing feat, no doubt. And you saw how close they were. Michael Swift actually leading that race until the until the last lap, whenever Brian was able to make the pass. And what's really cool is, you know, they autographed the podium after the podium backdrop. We've got a special podium backdrop up there this week, Fred. It's the all-pink one for the pink out race we got going on here at the Ironman. And each and every one of our winners and everyone that goes onto the podium actually autographs that podium backdrop. Well, Walker Fowler and Adam McGill and those guys, if they're on the podium and if they win the championship, or whichever one wins the championship, they're going to be signing that podium backdrop. And tomorrow, the motorcycle guys are going to be doing the same. But guess what's really cool about all that is the fact that we're going to be offering that to someone to take home here this weekend, believe it or not.
Wow, that's cool, Ronnie. Can you imagine having a poster or the backdrop with all the winners of that event from the Ironman this year?
And a crowning of a new champion. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that's a pretty historic piece of property that you got if you've got that Ironman backdrop from this particular race. We're going to auction that off immediately following podium presentations today, and we're going to give the money to the cancer research folks here. Used to be, well, it's a different organization now than what it used to be. So MCF, the Madison County Free Clinic, we used to know it as, oh shoot, it actually eludes me, but regardless of what it was called, they've always done the same thing, and that is help provide a lot of help here locally, and that's what we're going to be auctioning that off and giving that money to. And as you can see, all the Ironman is gone pink. We got pink backgrounds, we got pink paraphernalia as far as event souvenir shirts, and all the things that help make it noticeable and let folks know we're showing our colors and reminding with the pink balloons out and about. It's pretty cool. So, you know, and to say that Ironman has adorned in pink for October's breast cancer awareness this month, we are actually partnered with the Montgomery County Free Clinic, who provides free mammograms to those in need. PG Graphics once again sold pink front number plates that contributed in a $5 donation and a full set of front and side backgrounds that included a $10 donation. And there are exclusive GNCC breast cancer awareness race stickers available for $1 at the registration as well. Montgomery County Community Foundation is matching 50 cents to every dollar raised this weekend. A check presentation will take place immediately after the 10 a.m. podium tomorrow. So we'd like to really give out a whole lot of money coming up tomorrow when it comes to this backdrop. So if you really want a piece of GNCC history, you're going to want to be over there for the podium auction, the podium backdrop auction. It's going to be taking place today. The podium auction is going to be today after podium presentations conclude, so don't go anywhere. Stick around for that.
You know, right, another cool thing is, you know, when we first came here and we started doing the pink thing, only a few people did a little bit of pink here and there, and now everybody's a part of it. It's such a worthy cause. You know, there's pink. Right now I'm looking at a pink easy up, and I don't think I've ever seen that at any races we had so far this year. So somebody's got that, and there's backgrounds. Everybody paints pumpkins pink, and there's just pink everywhere. It's such a cool thing that now this race is almost like the pink race.
And you know what's really neat? I mean, we've, over the course of time doing the pink race here at Ironman, there has been a lot of different, like Zach Zakowski and what they do. They have raised thousands of dollars. Yamaha has donated thousands of dollars. GNCC has donated a lot. And riders and different folks and organizations have donated a whole lot. We help make that Montgomery County Free Clinic all possible, and it is really kind of an honor, I think, myself, as a part of GNCC Racing, to be a part of that. Well, right now, folks, we got some technical issues over at the finish line, but what I understand, we do have our leaders checking in. Jared McClure leading Chris Bithell 1.8 seconds, another 1.9 seconds back to Adam McGill. So within 4 seconds, we have our top 3 riders going right now, and 17 seconds back now is Cole Richardson. Richardson drops off to a big drop there. Another 2.5 seconds behind him is, well, we're waiting on the next rider. We expect that to be Chris Borich. Remember, Borich was running about 20 or so seconds behind Cole Richardson, but we may see some changes taking place there too.
And then behind Chris Borich, we had Walker Fowler, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yep. So Walker was on the move, and whatever happened in the first lap, I'm not sure, because when he stopped at the pit area, he just got goggles. They didn't make any adjustments or anything. He was wanting to get going.
I think I'm getting a report right now, Freddie, that actually Walker Fowler has gotten around Chris Borich. So now Walker is top 5, and that championship is pretty much secure at this point. But I got to tell you, I don't think that Walker Fowler is going to rest on those morals any whatsoever.
No, I think Walker Fowler, he's here to win races. He wants a championship too, but as long as he's going and he's feeling good, he's going to keep on going towards the front. He's not the kind of guy that wants to lay back and just, if he needs to get 12th to win, he's going to get 12th. He's a winner. It's in his blood. He wants to do the best he can do. He wants to leave here saying, hey, I got 3rd, but I gave it everything I had, not I got 5th and just cruised around. He's here to win races.
Well, he's on his way to doing so, as he's now 29 seconds behind Cole Richardson, 17 seconds behind Adam McGill. So he is now 46 seconds or so out of the top 3. But again, he is right where he needs to be to win the championship. So if he was just to kind of cruise in from this point on, it would be a very successful day. But like you said, he likes to win. He comes to win these races. And even he said that. He came to win, and that's his intentions, is to win. He says, but on the flip side of that, he realizes that there's a championship at hand. He's not going to take any unnecessary risks at the same time.
Yeah, Rodney, I don't expect him to ride over his edge. I think he's going to ride comfortably wherever he's at, and if that's where he's at right now, he's picking guys off a little by little. And at this lap, we're coming into fuel stop now, so all these people are going to come in for fuel. Mark, his pit guy, and his Team Yamaha guys, they're going to say, hey, you're in 4th or 5th place, whatever it is, and McGill's right ahead of you. Just keep your cool, and that's what he's going to do. And a little encouragement from those guys goes a long way, because he really doesn't know how far he is ahead or how far behind. So he just needs a little bit more encouragement when he comes into the pit stop and ride it out to the finish. You got to keep yourself in it to win it.
An hour and 2.5 minutes into this race, we're working on lap number 3. We're looking at Ironman Hill right now, so you can see a lot of water and mud being drug up the hill. Oh, this is Twin Hills. I'm sorry. I thought that might be Twin Hills. It didn't look big enough, but yeah, the 8-mile marker, that does make sense. So this is Twin Hills. Sorry about that. But regardless, you got that mud coming up at it. It's a whole different approach. They come at this hill a couple different ways sometimes, depending on how the course is ran. This year, coming out of the creek, I think is really mounted quite a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, and the creeks they cross, like I said, the water, you got to watch where you're going, because there's big giant rocks and there's actually holes out there. So as you're going across them, you got to pick your line. And with the rocks being loose like they are, every time you come through there, they kind of get in different situations. They kind of move one way or move out the other way. So whatever line you took the first time through may not be the best line the next time.
Well, as we watch this race unfold and anticipate the champion being crowned, we also anticipate crowning a champion in side-by-side racing. As we said, stick around for that. Coming up this afternoon, we'll have the showdown for the final round of the UTV racing. And, Fred, we talk a lot about this track. You hear us talk about Ironman Hill, and I've been mistakenly calling this Ironman Hill for the last couple of laps.
You and me both.
Twin Peaks. I questioned whether or not it was that, and then someone said, "No, that's Iron." So I went with it. But anyway, regardless, this is another section of the hill, the Twin Peaks. We talk Ironman Hill. We got the big cornfield sections. There's a lot of unique characteristics to this particular racetrack itself, and you know, whenever Barry Hawk and the boys go out and lay out the courses, they have a lot to well, take into consideration, man. I mean, now they've got a motocross track here. They've got these iconic spots that they've got to try to make sure that they get to each and every year. So they've got quite a bit of a challenge to keep the track fresh and keep some of the cool things still in the racetrack itself.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of cool spots on this track, and the track crew does a great job at doing it. You know, Barry did a great job this year, and you know, the big difference is it's such a big place. You know, the creek, you can cross the creek just about anywhere, and they've got some different options, so they can always keep you on a nice, fresh track. And another thing, this is only one time a year, Rodney. It's not like there's local races here and people beating it up. When we race at this, after this, it just sits. Mother Nature heals it all back up, so it's never a horrible track. No, it's not. It's amazing, really, how well things heal up in a year's time. Of course, we do a lot of reclaiming work. We've got especially sized dozers, skid steers, and all kinds of different equipment we take through and spend days after the event reclaiming the property and the racetrack itself, and ensuring that you know, no erosion and things like that take place. So it's and then Mother Nature gets to finish off what we did. Like you said, they go around there, they push all the big ruts in, so it just fills it back in, and it's nice and smooth, which is important to what we do. They keep the thing like brand new.
A lot of grass seed goes down in a lot of places where it's necessary. A lot of work goes into it, that's for sure. You know, and as we were talking about this track description itself, I know in talking with and listening to Barry's track descriptions out there, this Ironman again offers a lot of uniqueness to it. You racing it yourself, Fran Andrews, I know that you've done well here, probably won here timer. Nope, you never won. Came in second. That's right. I thought I saw it, but it was a second place. I saw your name as a race winner, but I thought it was Ironman, but it wasn't. But this is one of those tracks, man, where you come into it, you think it's Indiana, it's flat land. This is going to be an easy course to maneuver, and it's not. It's probably got as many, if not more, challenges as any racetrack we go to, with the big rocks and boulders and big mountainous hill climbs.
Yeah, you know, Ryan, like you said, the first year they said we're having a race in Indiana 20 years ago, I came out here and thinking, yep, it's going to be a flat race, nothing going on. And then when we walked it, we're like, holy mackerel, it's like a bomb went off. There's big giant hills and creeks, and from that day, I love this track, and every year I came here, I look forward to this. I never, ever did win a thing. I've got a lot of seconds, but never could win. But, you know, I did the best I could, and I wish I could have won, but
new leader. I think we got Chris Bithell out front in this one now. Wouldn't that be a way to end your ATV GNCC career, going out with a big win like that?
Yeah, that would be unbelievable. And you go, Chris Bithell sees that. He wants to win this race too, just like these other guys, but he knows this. He says this is his last race. You know, hopefully he can come back and do a few, but if you go out winning this, would be a lot for sure.
It'd be tough to hang up the boots after a win, but what better way to go into retirement than with a win at one of the biggest races that the world knows as far as ATV racing is concerned. I mean, we've got thousands, literally thousands of people here this weekend. I've seen several hundred folks in from the ATV motocross racing scene. They travel all over. There's so many people here just to watch this race today. It blows me away. And how many people from other disciplines are coming just to watch this race today as well?
Yeah, Ronnie, there's a lot of big people, a lot of sponsors of this series that, you know, they come to this race just to check it out. And
pit stops.
Here comes your pit stops right now. As you say, they're all coming in for gas and goggles. It's a little bit muddier because we're coming in and out of those creeks all the time, and they're pulling all the water up. And
well, I'll tell you, very calm, cool, and collected pit stop by all these guys right now. But there's an amazing thing. I think McClure got out ahead of Bithell, but Bithell got back around him coming around the corner there. So Bithell does at least maintain the position ahead of McClure, but I'm not sure necessarily that he got out ahead of Adam McGill. McGill may have gotten ahead of him. We're going to be checking in with him in a field section here in just a moment. There's Cole Richardson in looks like a pretty big smile on Papa's face there. So Papa McGill might have the lead now. They're doing everything that they need to do to try to win this championship, win the race first and foremost, in the hopes of winning the championship. And here we go. That's
Walker Fowler in the pits right now. He's getting goggles and gas. And you notice his dad. Well, we missed a shot, but they actually double pump that gas can when they're doing it, because it stops and then let off and they do it again just to make sure that thing's all the way full.
Look who's on the ground right there. 9-time GNCC champion Bill Balance making an adjustment on the underside of that ATV.
Wow. Wonder what they were adjusting, Rodney. Because Walker seemed like he was coming through the pack, but maybe, Bill's
there's
got
not a
some kind
whole
of
lot.
secret.
There's not a whole lot down there. I guess brakes, something in the maybe something in the shocks.
Or maybe he said he thought he heard something rattling, and Bill was just laying down there to see what it was, because he had that water bottle in his hand just to help spray the radiators out and get the mud out, because they don't want that bike overheating with all the mud that we got coming up out there.
Well, Bill was looking at something. We don't know what it is, but it's good to see Bill. Bill's here and in full fashion, and he is.
Oh no, he got mud on his brand new hat.
Trying to get that retro hat cleaned off. But there's a champ. There's a look at a champion, Bill Balance, who gave 7 years ago this year, gave that championship away, that #1 plate to Chris Borch. Man, it's hard to believe that we're coming to the end of another era now, and Chris Borch will be handing that #1 plate off to what likely looks to be, at least at the moment, to Walker Fowler.
Yeah, Roddy, like you said earlier, there's so many different guys now that can win races. It's unbelievable, and that makes racing even more fun for everybody. It's not one guy dominating the sport anymore, so these other guys got a chance to win too, and it makes the racing a lot tighter. And and it comes down to this last race of the year again, just like last year. And that, I think all these guys, Walker and Adam McGill, probably had 2 weeks to think about Ohio to see, how this race is going to pan out. I'm sure the nerves affected them all week long, but we're here and they're both doing good. And like you say, this is Ironman. This is the one you want to win if you're going to win one. And here we are. We're back out in the big bean field that we talked about earlier, and you can see the track's actually starting to grow a little bit in the turns. These guys are down on that nice soft dirt, and they're starting to push it up into the corners. And they're starting to get big berms built, which tomorrow when the bikes go, they're really going to like those big berms. They're going to be able to lay the bike over more and get some more traction. And there's another guy going through the pro row, so this track has got a lot to offer. And there's plenty of pitting for everybody, and the spectators. They can go down the mud holes or the uphills and watch some great stuff. Or if you just want to come out to the big bean field, you can come out there and watch your guys go around the track and make these big turns, and it really makes things interesting out here at Ironman.
All right, thanks a lot, Fred Andrews. Down here in the Yamaha pits where Walker Fowler just stopped in a few moments ago for a pit stop. And we were talking about the 9-time GNCC champion right here, Bill Balance. Bill, welcome back to GNCC Racing, man. A little different look. Now, we did see that kind of a look whenever you were working with Walker there just a few years ago, but it was good to see you back in there with your hands getting dirty, man, and your hat, it looks like.
Yeah, I was just standing here, and Danny was doing some fuel, and Mark, he was taking care of the goggles, and there was 3 or 4 things needed to be done at once, so I grabbed a water bottle and sprayed the radiator out, and he started hollering for a screwdriver. One of these rebounds sped up, so we just put a couple clicks out on it, and he took back off, but it looks like he's in good position. He knows what he needs to do today, and right there where he's at, this position where he's at right now, he could just ride right there all day long and seal this thing up, but knowing Walker, that's probably not good enough for him.
No, probably not, that's for sure, Bill. But good to see you out here like that, and good that you're able to offer the assistance and the hand man and see this happen. I know it was, 7 years ago you gave up that championship title to Chris Borch, and now you get to watch Chris hand it back off to a guy that you kind of mentored for several years.
Yeah, when I got through racing, I started running the race team, working with Yamaha, and picked up Taylor Kaiser and Walker, and both boys was something special. Walker, he's got a natural talent. He's had it from the time he probably climbed on his first vehicle. But it was a lot of fun working with Walker, and for him to be this close to wrapping up a championship, I didn't want to miss that.
No doubt, man. And being back here in the realm of GNCC, man, I imagine you want to come back for more, right?
Oh, it's when you've been a part of this world, the GNCC world, it's something that never leaves you. It's not a day goes by that I don't think about it, and stuff that's going on, remembering good old days, and I keep up with what's currently going on through the internet and watching the shows and stuff like that. But once you've got GNCC in your blood, it's never going to get out.
That's for sure. That's 9-time GNCC champion Bill Balance. Bill, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Go help Walker win this championship, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing this all take place. This is going to be a good day.
It's good for him to be here, and of course, Bill Balance, not a big part of the team, but he's a part of the support here this weekend, and a big part of our GNCC racing history, to say the least.
Bill would be winning a lot of races, and it's hard to go out and actually give this up and quit racing, but you know, Bill won a lot of championships, and he stepped down as champion and handed it off to Chris Borich, who now, like we said earlier, you know, we got a new champion for next year. Will it be Walker Fowler or will it be Adam McGill? We've got an hour and 15 minutes into this event, so we've got another 45 minutes left to go, so we're going to find ourselves a new champion here shortly as racing here continues. You know, like I say, there's people everywhere you look. There's people, Rodney. It's amazing how many people come out to this event.
No doubt. It is huge. Even Bill Balance out, that's for sure. And when we come back, we're going to take a look at your Mid-State Chevy Midway Report, and we're going to find out, is Walker Fowler going to be able to seal the deal here today? Will he be the next GNCC ATV champion? GNCC Live continues after this.
This RacerTV live broadcast is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. By Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. By Maxxis Tires, find your flow. And powered by Yamaha Generators.
And welcome back to GNCC Live. Rodney Tomlin along with Fred Andrews and Megawatt Matt Watson, almost an hour and 17 minutes into this race now. Jared McClure leading Chris Bithell and Adam McGill. That was the last report coming through the finish line, but I believe that McGill has grabbed the lead as McClure and actually Bithell had just ahead of McClure, I believe. So a little bit of a change-up going on there throughout our top three. We'll check in with them again coming up soon. I know we still got the same top three, but they keep jumbling it up. But I believe it is McGill out front now. Richardson running a few seconds back and forth in the number 5 spot. Walker Fowler running in that spot. Okay, so we did just get confirmation there from Megawatt Matt Watson that we do have Adam McGill out front, so he is in position to do what he needs to do as far as winning the race, and hopefully, if things fall in his favor, winning the championship. But right now, Walker Fowler is doing everything that he needs to do to hang on to that championship, and sitting in that 5th place spot. So it is Borich back in 6th, Landon Wolf in 7th, Bryson Neal 8th, Brian Wolf drops back to 9th, Kevin Yoho, who is also in his last race as a Pro XC1 racer, rounds out the top 10 here today in the overall and in the XC1 Pro class. As we look to the XC2 Pro Lights class. Yeah, Swiss Miss Instant Cocoa. All right, as soon as my computer kicks on, there we go. Oh, look at this right here. Remember we talked about, by the way, we are in the Mid-State Chevy Midway Report, brought to you by Mid-State Chevrolet, located off the Flatwood exit on I-79 in the heart of West Virginia. last few races, we kept talking about this College A rider that was trying to battle for the championship in that class, trying to win a title in both GNCC and ATV motocross. Well, he secured the deal in that. He won championships in both disciplines of ATV racing, motocross, and GNCC. Steps up to the XC2 Pro-Am class today and is leading this thing. Wesley Wolf is looking at a 54-second lead over everyone else in the XC2 Pro-Am class right now.
Rodney, you know we've been waiting on this. Like you said, we've watched this kid all over the country in every discipline there is. This guy can motocross, he can GNCC, he flat tracks. Now this guy moving up a class. Before the season's over, the last round, this kid has a 50-second lead in the Pro class. I told you, look out for Wesley Wolf when he makes the step.
I'll tell you, he made a big step there today, no doubt about it. Wesley Wolf leading Randy Hamilton now by nearly 55 seconds. Kenny Schick, who was a part of the Team Hare Scramble Championship of the World team win there last week with Johnny Gallagher. He runs in the number 3 spot.
Right now you see Adam McGill going up the hill. I believe that's Chris Biffle in second place and Jared McClure in third, heading up Twin Towers, Rodney.
And that's what we thought we may have seen, so there you go. So as we continue with the Mid-State Chevy Midway Report, where they stack them neat and sell them cheap, Wesley Wolf, who is sponsored by Mid-State Chevrolet of all things, is leading this one. Randy Hamilton second, Kenny Schick in third. Greg Covert, the 701, is running in fourth. Danny Rogers in fifth. It's James Green, the 22 and sixth. Matthew Lindell is seventh. Martin Christofferson in eighth. We're used to seeing him up in podium spots. Ninth place is Levi Cohen, the 28 machine. We'll be looking for great things coming out of this young man in the future. And the 807 of Mike Lancaster rounds out the top 10.
And Cole Richardson went by in fourth place, I believe, and that's Walker Fowler coming by. He's only about 25 seconds down from Cole Richardson now riding, so Walker's still on the move.
Wow, that's he's a man on a mission right now, no doubt about it. As we look at our next class, this is the now college age 16 to 21-year-old class, where Austin Abney is leading Brandon Eichert. We're looking at a 29-second lead after 2 laps of racing there for those guys. Tyler Wares, the 768, is running third. Anthony Barnes in fourth. In the number 5 spot, the 295 of Jared Swartz. 6th place of the College A class, Brody Lambro. We got 7th place, 217, Drew Landers. 8th place, Noah Landis. 9th spot, Corey Silverthorne. Josh Haney rounds out the top 10. A quick look next at our next class, and I believe that is going to be the Junior A. Steve Covert, the 702, out of Ithaca, New York, with a 20-second lead over the 32 of Nathan Hornacek. Dwight Pollard, the 706, running in the number 3 spot. He's only 2 seconds behind Hornacek. Duck Lloyd, who we've seen win last time and got third, second, and first over the course of the last 3 races. He's running back in the number 4 spot now. Lloyd out of Bedford, Virginia. 5th place, 37, Matthew King. By the way, Lloyd, a former top ATV motocross star as well. Matthew King, all the way from Southwick, Massachusetts, running in 5th. Josh Beach, the 387, is 6th. 7th place, Dustin Piggott, the 913, 8th spot. 723, Angel Knox, our WXC 3-time champion. She was crowned champion in Ohio a couple of weeks ago, and she lined up in the Junior A 22-plus class today, got the whole shot, and is currently running back in the number 8 position. What an amazing feat by that young lady. Will Cashin, 689, is 9th. 10th place is 676 of Jacob Tomey. As you watch the video on screen on RacerTV.com at home for GNCC Live, we're watching recorded video from earlier's NBC's coverage of Ironman Hill. This is the Ironman Hill. There's the hundreds, what looks like hundreds there, but you pan all the way around. Thousands of people down there right now, and folks are watching those guys. So that's our NBC footage. It's raw footage we're watching right now. Just happened a few moments ago. Next class we take a look at, I believe, is going to be our vet class, if I'm not mistaken here, as we look to Matt Hanna, the 901, leading that one. Actually, Matt got the whole shot out of New Concord, Ohio. Matt's a former top XC2 racer. Jeff Pickens, a former top XC1 racer, the 17 out of Shamokin, PA, and husband of Tracy Checkered, 9-time women's champ, running in the number 2 spot. Here's something really interesting. The 881, Corbin Knox, that is the husband of the 3-time champ in the Junior A class, and the WXC 3-time champ of Angel Knox. Corbin Knox is running third. That's kind of ironic. Jeff Pickens and Tracy Pickens, Corbin Knox, Angel Knox. They're running second and third right now. Dustin Hendershot running in fourth. Bruce Weiland is fifth. Dane Heilman from the ATV motocross racing scene is here with us today. Dane is running in the sixth place position, a part of the Jeremiah Jones racing team. Josh Lynn, the 632, is seventh. 870, Adam Reed is eighth. Todd Mascala, the Marlboro man, having some troubles today. He's back in ninth as Wes Stone rounds out the top 10 aboard the number 68. A lot of competition in that Vet 828 plus class today. As we check in with our next class, I believe we go to the senior AB, if I'm not mistaken. Next, we got Mike Muskoff, the number 860 from Trenton, Ohio, with a 22-second lead over Media All-Stars Mark Batson, the 636 out of LaSalle, Michigan. Aaron Delancey, the 42 from St. Louisville, Ohio, is third. Shane Austin, the 641 in fourth out of Iowa. Then we got Josh Shaner. Shaner is the 177 in fifth. Jeff Range in sixth. Jason Smith in seventh. Brent Marshall is running eighth. Lane Coyle in ninth. And Joe Leinhard rounds out the top 10 in the senior AB class. That's riders 38 years of age and older. I don't know, the last couple of years they've dropped those ages. They used to be like 40 plus, 30 plus, 25 plus, but now it's like 22 plus, 28 plus, and 38 plus. So it makes definitely makes it interesting, there's no doubt. College B class we take a look at, where Weston Scott leads 56 seconds over the 569 of Nick Mastrangelo. That's this is live footage, I believe, coming in at Twin Peaks here, if I'm not mistaken. Is it not, Fred?
Yes, it is, Rodney. But our leaders have already gone by right now. These are just some of the back marks. You can see this guy here missed the whole turn and got into the tree, and the spectators out there pulling him to get him going again.
All righty, well, then we'll check back in with our leaders coming up here in a few moments. Continue with our Mid-State Chevy Midway Report. Scott Mastrangelo in 1 and 2. Tanner Walker, the 926, runs in third. Fourth place, Tyler Krill. Fifth spot, Dakota Westcott. Sixth place, Frankie Egress. Seventh place, Dustin Atkinson. Eighth place, Trey McDaniel. Ninth place, Tom Strout. And then we got Eli Kiger rounding out the top 10. Heading into the Midway Report, our next class we'll be taking a look at, I believe, is Junior A. This is one, or Junior B. This is one that's got a rather interesting championship, a three-way battle. Brian Felicki being one of those, Eric Hollifield being one of those, and the name of the third guy kind of slips my mind right now. But as we look at, it might be Robert Mapp, but as we look at the standings right now, Hollifield is all the way back in 10th, Felicki in second, and it looks like he may actually stand a pretty good chance of winning this championship after this is all said and done. Still a long way to go, though. Cody Wolford leads the Junior B class. Brian Felicki running in the number 2 spot. James Mauger is third. Fourth place, Ryan Sells. Robert Mapp rounds out your top 5. In sixth place, it's Tyler Wiley. Ben P.P. DeMarco in seventh place. Dustin Cowan runs in eighth. Brian LaRue is ninth, and Eric Hollifield, battling for a championship, is 10th place. He's got a long road to hoe in that one to make that happen, but still got a chance before those checker flag flies. We look next at the Vet B class. Dale Batson is brother to Mark Batson. They're part of the Media All-Stars team, having the most fun that they've had in their racing career. And they're two brothers in their 40s, and they've raced ATV motocross for years, took on the GNCCs a couple of years ago, and now are front of the class. Jeremy Gouchard, the 61, runs second. Jeff Wagner back in the number 3 spot. Rich Rob Rayab in fourth place. Daniel Webb is fifth. John Salsa in sixth. Jared Webb is seventh. Nathan Yates in eighth. Ninth is Mark Wathen. And rounding out the top 10, Justin Groff of the Vet B 30-plus class. And I believe that we'll have, do we have any more classes to look at? That might be our last one. Yeah, that's the last one. Wow. Hard to believe we got through that whole list. The Mid-State Chevy Midway Report, the home of your next new car, truck, or van, and where I'm headed on Tuesday to go buy myself and my daughter, who just turned 16, a new car. Going to go buy us a new car on Tuesday from Mid-State Chevrolet. You can do the same thing, my friend. Mid-State Chevrolet, located in the heart of West Virginia off I-79. They stack them deep, they sell them cheap. The official provider of the GNCC Racing Nation. Back to the racing action at hand. Fred Andrews. We're looking at the action as we look. It says wrapping it up. It was McClure out front, Bithell in second, McGill in third. But we've had a bit of a change there. It's kind of like flipped around there. McGill up front, Bithell in second still, but McClure has dropped to the number 3 spot. We saw a little bit of that change in action just prior to the pit stop itself.
Yeah, right. You know, that pit stops were key right there. I think everybody got in and out real quick. Walker Fowler, I'm not sure if he made an adjustment when Bill Balance was laying underneath there or not, but, you know, that was the main thing. Everybody got goggles, and everybody got out of the pits fine. And going back to getting your daughter a car, if I was going to Mid-State Chevrolet, I'd get one of them cool trucks like the GNCC has driving around
Well,
here.
I am going to get a new truck for me. I'm getting, I mean, that's how good a deal I can get. I can get both. I'm getting a new truck to pull my camper around with, and I'm getting a new car for my daughter, a cheaper car, but it's going to be a new car.
And I think here's Adam McGill coming to the finish line right now. Rodney looks like he's in the lead still, getting the white flag, so we've got one more lap left to go.
Wow.
Adam McGill.
Now, the story...
And there's Chris Bithell.
So now the big story remains, and all the questions have been asked. What can happen? What will happen? What is this anything can happen thing we talk about the Ironman? Well, we might just find out firsthand coming up over the next 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, Rod, you know, it's a long, long last lap. Anything can happen in GNCC racing, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but right now the leaders have gone through. We're still waiting on Chris Borich and Walker and Fowler and those guys to come through for 4th and 5th, I believe, or 5th and 6th. There's Walker Fowler right now, Rodney, coming through, and he looks like he's just going through the motion right now. You know, he sees the white flag, knows he's in the position where he needs to be, and this is when he may take it a little bit easier than normal.
This is where, this is where you go in the championship mode, I think, at this time. McGill doing everything he can out front to win. McClure in second, Bithell in third, Cole Richardson fourth. Walker Fowler is in the number 5 position, as we said. Chris Borich is checked in 6th place, only 5 seconds behind Walker Fowler. At this particular point, like we said, he has to be going in the championship mode at this point.
Yeah, he's got himself in the position to win. This is what he wanted to be all day, top 5. So he's in the 5th place. He's good with that. He's just going to keep his head down and keep thinking of what he's doing, Rodney. You got to keep concentrating, though.
No doubt about it. And as we continue to watch and look at the overall, we talk about the overall. Wesley Wolf, we've been talking about him in the College A class. Again, he's up to the XC2 Pro-Am class, leading that. He has 12th place overall right now. The kid's amazing, no doubt about it. He has got a future in this sport of ATV racing. It doesn't matter what discipline he goes into, he's going to make things happen, I think.
Yeah, Ronnie, I didn't know he could do flat track, too. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, he
Motocross,
does.
flat track, GNCC. Like you said, his future in our sport is great. And like you said, he does the same thing in motocross, so look out.
So here we go. We're going to be looking out for the future, and we're looking out right now, waiting for our new champion to make his way around. 29 minutes, 56 seconds for Adam McGill last time around. Jared McClure at 30.04, a 30.09 for Chris Bithell, a 29.59 for Cole Richardson, a 29.57 for Walker Fowler, and a 29.59 for Chris Borich. So it looks like those guys are still pushing pace right now. So though we may say that Walker's going into that reserve championship mode at this point, I mean, he's got a big gap, about 30 seconds to get to 4th and another 8 seconds up to the number 3 spot. I think it's just basically he's going to be smacking high fives around the racetrack this last lap. People are going to be cheering him on. He's going to be giving him a thumbs up, and he's going to ride this one home to glory.
Well, Rodney, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Because last year he came by Pro Row when he was winning, gave us a thumbs up, and he got second. So I think there's going to be no high-fiving until he crosses that checkered flag, and then it's on.
Well, it's a little different scenario last year, too. Well, yeah, Chris Borich hot on his rear wheel, still a mile or so left to go to the finish. Yeah, that was an amazing finish. Just think of that. A year ago, man, we were on the verge of crowning a new champion, we thought. We thought we were looking at that history being made, and then all of a sudden, within 100 yards of the finish line, everything changed, and Walker Fowler's world turned upside down when he got passed by what I call, you couldn't say it better, the bandit, Chris Borich, you know?
Yeah, Rodney, like you said, I thought of that all week long coming in this race, and I actually went over there and looked at the corner where Chris made the pass, and it's just still amazing that it happened, and that's a good thing about what we do. It's not over till you cross that checkered flag.
Well, Megawatt Matt Watson down in Walker Fowler's pits where he stands by with Mark Notman.
Hey guys, we're down here in the pits with Mark, Walker Fowler's mechanic. Mark, we're deep into the race right now. The white flag, I believe, is out or about ready to come out. What's our position? What do we look like, and how do we feel about our standing?
White flag just come out. We're in 5th. You know, we're in a good spot. We don't need to, you know, try to push and move ahead. you know, Adam is out front, but you know, all we got to do is get a 10th. So we're you know, right in the middle, and if we just stay there, be conservative, and just make sure we finish.
I got to tell you, man, this is a big moment. You guys look calm, cool, and collected down here. Things going as planned for you guys, business as usual.
Yeah, you know, we had a little rough start there in the beginning. I think he got stuck in the mud hole the first lap, but he battled back up to the, you know, mid-pack, just where we need to be, and I think he's calmed down a little bit, and he's going to finish it off.
Awesome. Well, good luck, and thank you, Mark. Back to you, Rodney.
All right, thanks a lot, Megawatt. And, yeah, man, I mean, no sense of urgency, rather calm, cool, and collected, but at the same time, man, could you not tell that Mark realized that he's a part of something huge right now?
Oh, for sure, Roddy. You know, he's more nervous. The whole pit crew's more nervous right now than Walker Fowler is, because Walker Fowler knows what's going on. He's on his bike. He knows how he's doing. As soon as they go out of sight, the whole pit crew's just nerves are just going through the roof.
Yeah, and this is the moment where you say, Mark Notman's going, okay, did I tighten that? Did I get that clipped on properly? Is this all going to hold together all the way to the very end? And you know, those second guesses, I guess, of nerves, and you know, I'm sure that it's something that he rarely ever does. But in a situation like this race carries a lot more weight, and I'm sure that Mark did everything that he was supposed to, and that bike is going to be running fine. But he's still got that little bit of nervousness. That is it going to hold together? Yeah,
you know, for sure, Ron. And it could be something that's totally out of his control. You know, there's rocks, there's roots, there's sticks. Anything can happen out there. That's out of his control. Not a part breaking or falling off, but you bend a rotor or bend this or bend that. So this last lap is nerve-wracking no matter what, unless you're on the bike where you know what's going on. Because now I'm on the flip side with Thad Duvall and with Nick Davis. As soon as they go by, I'm a ball of nerves till they come around again. You know, and when you're riding a bike, you don't ever think about that. It's way more nervous being a pit crew than it is a racer.
Well, within the next 30 minutes, Fred Andrews, we will be crowning a new GNCC champion. Leaders due in about 23 minutes for the conclusion of lap number 4, the final lap of the Ironman ATV race for 2015. And, man, as we said, one way or the other, no matter what happens from this point on, a new champion will be crowned. And Walker Fowler is sitting in position to make that happen. And right now, Adam McGill is doing everything that he can to try to ensure that his possibilities remain alive at this point. But as much as anything, I think that Adam, coming into this race, wasn't anticipating, wasn't expecting, wasn't even hoping for anything like that to happen. He just wanted to come out, get some race wins, and show that he's still got a great program. He's got a solid program, and he'll be back to challenge again in 2016.
Yeah, you know, Adam McGill came out here and did exactly what he had to do. He had to win, so he's going to win, and you got to let the cards fall as they do. You know, he's got no control over anything else other than he needed to win, and that's exactly what he's doing right now, Rodney.
Well, right now, again, less than 22 minutes in this race, and wow, there is McGill making his way through, so he's carving his lines in this final chapter of the 2015 history. As he looks over his shoulder there, and he'll look back about 3 to 4 seconds where he'll see the Cobra of Jared McClure running in second, and another 7.2 seconds back to Chris Bithell at the last check that we had. Cole Richardson was then only 8 seconds back of Bithell, so we've seen a big makeup in time there, and 27 seconds back to Walker Fowler in the number 5 spot. But again, as we said, Walker is riding right where he needs to be riding. And this right here will give us a good indication of what Walker Fowler's mindset is when we see him come through this field section here at the 3-mile marker, I think.
Yeah, you know, like we said earlier, I look for Walker. He's going to be going after it still out there in the open field. That's the place to make time. There's really not a whole lot of grief could really happen out there. So you don't have to worry about hitting no sticks or rocks or anything like that. So he's going to be letting it go out there in the open section there, and looks like Adam McGill right there coming through pro row, and the Cobra right behind him. You know, I've been really impressed by him all year long. You know, Jared McClure has really came alive.
He has.
He's always in there.
And Jared's maturing into a very solid, strong racer, and there's something about the maturity factor of these riders. Once they mature as a racer, there is Coltrane heading through the pits now. That is your 4th place ride. Cole Richardson making his way by, and we'll be watching to see.
Actually, I think he's 3rd. I think right there's Chris Bithell. I think he's made the pass.
We may have just seen a change taking place there. So we may see Coltrane in his first XC1 Pro Podium possibilities here today. Now we wait for, that should be 5th place, that should be Fowler coming through right there, and it is. No premature celebrations this year, Fred Andrews.
No, Rodney, I tried to read what his crew chief Mark Notman was giving to him, but I saw P5, but I couldn't read the bottom part of it, but I'm sure he was just letting him know where he's at, and hey, it's your race to win or your race to lose, man.
Yeah, it's a championship to win, believe it or not. That is just an amazing thing. It's, we make our way through this race day here at the Ironman, the home of the Shaver family. You know, this property holds so many memories, cherishes so many of those memories for so many different people since 1995. That's 20 years, and heading into that 21st year of racing here. We've got our 21st race underway, heading into the 3rd decade. It's hard to believe. The Ironman event, though, came here in 1995, named after the late GNCC champion of Bob the Ironman Sloan. He hailed from right here in Indiana and helped make the event happen. The Ironman GNCC is also one of the most popular on the race circuit, last year boasting the most riders of any off-road race ever, at nearly 2,400 riders on the starting line throughout the course of the weekend. And the Ironman GNCC is one of the most, like I said, one of the most popular, but at the same time it has some of the most convenient opportunities to pick up Polaris units from Tom's Marine Sales. Tom's Marine got one of the biggest Polaris dealerships in the nation right here at the home of the Ironman and Ironman Raceway. But the track itself, we've talked about that. We've got perfect track conditions out there. And believe it or not, this community growing so much over the course of time. We've seen it over the last 20 years or so grow to 38,000 people in the city of Crawfordsville, Indiana. A great and wonderful place, a great place to be coming to wrap up the 2015 GNCC Championship title. Who's it going to be? Will Walker be able to maintain it and carry it all the way home and capture that championship, or will Adam McGill get that big break he's looking for? Stick around, we'll find out.
General RV is going to help you go camping. With locations across the nation and thousands of RVs to choose from, General RV is the nation's largest family-owned RV dealer. At General RV, you'll save thousands on everything from trailers that sleep the whole family right up to motorhomes that are amazing and so economical to travel in. General RV is the only dealer who can show you this much and save you this much. With a great deal from General RV, you'll discover how much fun camping can be.
Any engine, any season, at home, at the track, or on the trail. AMSOIL for any engine.
And welcome back to GNCC Live, as I enjoy a really good donut here this afternoon. But we got an hour and 43 minutes into this race, and we are about to crown a champion. We just saw Donnie Luce and boys from Yamaha making their way toward the podium. Fred Andrews, they had a whole bunch of swag, I imagine, T-shirts and posters and banners and all kinds of stuff that they're going to be celebrating with on the podium here in a little bit.
Yep, Rodney, you know, Yamaha, it's a big thing for them. They put a lot of effort into this series and a lot of effort into Walker Fowler and the whole AmPro team, and it's great to see, you know, that Randy's AmPro team has taken on the four-wheelers and made such good progress with them and on the bike side. So my hat's off to the Yamaha crew. You know, maybe a little premature, but, you know, I think it should happen today. As you can see, there's a lot of things can happen here this last lap. We're at the 8-mile marker right now where we're still waiting for the leaders to come around to go up the Twin Peaks for one last time here at Ironman Raceway.
Well, I tell you, folks, get your way to the podium. Not only are you going to want to witness this historical moment for yourself, but you're also going to want to be there for the auction of the backdrop. That's right, we're going to be auctioning off that big pink backdrop back there. Somebody is going to leave the Ironman GNCC with a great piece of memorabilia, one that no one else will have, no one else will ever be able to attain unless they get it from you, and that is the one that has Walker Fowler's autograph on it and the new champion. As well, it'll be his first autograph as a champion. So that, for any GNCC racing enthusiast, will be a great piece of memorabilia.
You know, Rodney, I didn't think about that. You're right. That'll be the first time he signs it as a champion.
Yeah.
So you would be the first person to actually have it.
It would be, and it would be, and like I say, in as far as off-road racing is concerned, that is a huge and monumental piece of swag that you would have, no doubt about it, memorabilia. You can take it home this weekend. We're going to be auctioning it off. It's going to be right there at the podium, so come to the podium so you can be a part of that.
I'm watching this guy climb the hill right now, Rodney. He started at the very bottom, had no speed, and I just don't think he's going to make it. But there you go. He's got some help. So I was wondering, you too, Rodney, if that guy got stuck, and the leader should be coming pretty soon. If it got all jammed up, and, you know, shoot, anything can happen then. But it looks like it's going to be a clear shot for the leaders as they come that way.
Well, the last time we talked about it, we were somewhere in the neighborhood of about 21 minutes from the expected conclusion of today's race. We're now under 13 minutes to crowning a new champion and seeing a new champion be born right here at the Ironman. As we pointed out, October 23rd, 2004 began Walker Fowler's national ATV racing campaign, as that was the first time ever that an ATV youth race was held in modern day history anyway. Right here at the Ironman, Walker Fowler was able to take the win on that one, and it's hard to believe that 11 years later, here we are, and he's going to be crowned the XC1 Pro Class champion. What an amazing road he has traveled, no doubt about it, man. It has certainly been a fun road to ride upon myself. I've witnessed it all throughout his entire career, and I myself feel honored. I feel that this is special. This is a huge moment in GNCC, and it's obviously a huge moment in Walker Fowler's life and career.
Yeah, you know, Walker Fowler, being from Ohio, so I've known Walker Fowler for a long time. You know, he dabbled in the bikes for a while, and then he was on a quad, and he could ride a bike really well. So, you know, and it came to a point where he had to make a decision of what he thought it was better, and I think he made the right choice. You know, the quads maybe suit him a little bit better on his riding style and all, but I mean, he's a great person. His dad's a great person, and Mark Notman used to work with me and my parents when they had their shop, so he's got a good crew chief there. So their whole program is solid. You know, the AmPro Yamaha guys took them on, so now they got them. So they got a really good package going right now. It's nice to see, you know, him win. Not saying wouldn't be nice to see Adam McGill win. They got a great package too, but
right,
you know, it's all, you got to have good people around you to be a champion, and both Adam McGill and Walker do.
Yes, they do, and both were great championship contenders. My hat's off to both individuals and both teams and all the supporters for each and for every one of them, both those guys and everybody out there, because everyone has made a huge difference, I think, in this year's racing and in those programs, and being a part of it, being here to cheer, is really helped elevate the excitement level of the GNCCs and Saturdays at a GNCC. I'm not going to say that Sundays aren't exciting or anything like that, Fred, but you know as well as I do, there are a lot of people here on Saturday afternoon to watch these four-wheelers go racing.
Yeah, Ron, it's kind of crazy, like you said. I don't know what it is, but man, this four-wheeler crowd out here, it just draws so many people. And then when the bikes are raced on Sunday, I just think they're all partied out. But no, for some reason there's not as many on Sunday, but there's still a huge crowd. But man, on Saturday here, you just cannot believe how many people come out for these quads.
Well, we'll probably have well over 1,000 motorcycle riders tomorrow alone, maybe even as many as 1,200 motorcycle guys racing throughout the course of the day tomorrow. So it's not saying that there's not a lot of people here, but there's a whole lot of people here on Saturdays for this ATV race, that's for sure. Wow, what an amazing end to an amazing season here. An hour and 40, almost 6 minutes into this race now. Oh, almost 49 minutes. Sorry, looked at the wrong time there. Adam McGill looking to take the race win. Jared McClure looking to secure another podium position finish, not only this season, but here at the Ironman, and secure the 3rd place overall. And right now, I believe Cole Richardson has taken over the number 3 position. So for Cole, it's not the first time that we'll ever see him capture a podium position finish, but it is the first time as an XC1 Pro. He's done it on adjusted time in the past as an XC2 Pro-Am rider, but not today, my friends. He's on the way as a XC1 guy, and I think that's him going up the hill right now here at Twin Peaks. He's at the 8-mile marker, still holding steady back there in the number 3 spot. And it might not have been. Now, Fred's making me second guess. But it's short. Those Oh, okay. That was McClure. I swore that looked like a number 5. My eyes are horrible. That is Coltrane there. That was second place that went just ahead of him. Sorry about that. I was close, at least in position. Fred Andrews like, you were nowhere close, buddy.
Nice try, Rodney. No, you know how it is like this. We got all excited with the mud on like that. It was hard to tell, but I thought Cole had a lot more yellow on him, so he came by, so he's still in 3rd place. And there's your Chris Bithell right there going by in 4th, so it'll be interesting to see if has Walker Fowler caught up to him any.
So there you go. Like I say, yeah, Walker should be checking in here pretty soon. So that rider that we saw was the 2nd place ride of.
And right there's
Jared
Walker Fowler right there. He looks like he's cruising, actually. So,
yeah, victory lap.
One last time up the hill for everybody. Yeah, he's standing up, going up there, riding. He knows where he's at, and he's comfortable, and he's just going to cruise her on in.
Yes, he is. And, wow, championship lap, man. That right now, man, this is where it all starts to hit him at this point. The 8-mile marker. You know, last year it was kind of hitting him, but it was all a part of the excitement. He thought he saw it coming, but right now, I mean, it's almost a guaranteed opportunity.
Right,
is that McGill? That is Adam McGill.
Bike is quit right there, Rodney.
Adam McGill is stopped dead in the water at the creek at Twin Hills, so that actually moves McClure back into the lead. He may end up with a win here. Cole Richardson in 2nd, and Jared McClure up to the number 3 spot. And how big would that be for Jared McClure to end up winning this race today in the overall? But tough break for Adam McGill. Kurt is stuck dead in the water, literally in the water at Twin Peaks.
It almost looks like he's on the cell phone, Rodney. Like he's calling back to his pit crew to tell him he's there. Maybe that must be why Walker Fowler went by so nonchalant. I mean, it looked like he was on a Sunday cruise.
Now it's time to do the high fives and the salutes to the crowds.
That's it. I mean, GNCC Racing, that's the best there again. It's just, you never know. I would have never predicted that his bike would have broke right there in front of the camera.
Well, Freddie, you know, as I mentioned there a moment ago, at the 8-mile marker, and as he saw the feelings, bam, now he knows that championship is clinched. You've won championships before, and you know that moment when it's clinched. What's that feeling like? What's the next 4 miles going to be like for Walker Fowler?
Man, the next 4 miles, he's going to be so happy. He's going to be just like he was when he went by on camera. He's just going to be enjoying the ride. You know, he's not going to be pinning it and worrying about anything. He's just going to be doing wheelies, and he's building that up for that excitement when he comes in. And really, the championship probably isn't going to set in until tomorrow. You know, today is going to be big, and then tomorrow he's going to sit back and go, I am the champion. It's feeling like no other.
So it's really kind of a hard to really grasp the concept, to grasp the idea at the moment. The moment, not necessarily. It's after the fact that it all comes crashing down. That's pretty exciting, but, you know, there's got to be, at the same time, man, I mean, I'm sure he's got to be thinking a lot of things at this point. And like you say, it may not all sink in until tomorrow, but at the same time, he's thinking, wow, so hard I've worked to get to this point. Last year at this point, I thought I had it, but this year, I know I've got it. I have worked so hard. It all comes to fruition. It's an amazing moment, I'm sure, in this rider's time in life right now, winning youth races, youth championships, amateur titles and championships, and, of course, XC2 Pro-Am titles, winning overalls from the XC2 race. It all meant a lot to Walker Fowler, but nothing is going to mean more than the moment than when he crosses that finish line here in just a little bit to become a new GNCC ATV champion, something that very few folks have ever witnessed in their tenure in GNCC.
Yeah, you know, and too, when he crosses that finish line, he sees his whole pit crew there jumping up and down and yelling and screaming, and like you say, it's going to be a feeling like no other. You know, it's not a feeling you can express until you actually do it. And there's Adam McGill right now getting pulled back in by, I think maybe that's Barry Hawk pulling him back to the pit. So maybe we can try to get somebody with Adam to find out exactly what happened to his bike. But you can see on his face, he knew he came here and he had to win, and that's what he was doing. And you know, 8 Mile
he said he
wasn't far enough.
That's what he says. He was going to go, or it was going to blow. You know, one or the other. He's going to ride that thing as hard as he could to the very end, in hopes of trying to win that championship. But a heartbreaker there for him. And Fred, I'm sure you've been in that situation where you've watched the championship slip away yourself.
Yeah, actually at this track too, Rodney. I came to this race with Rodney Smith. We were two points difference. You know, whoever won, and we were together all day long. I'd pass him, he'd pass me back. In the last lap, I passed him, I messed up, he passed me back. And, I mean, I lost a championship that day, but not because of lack of trying. I mean, just by a couple seconds. But it's still, that was something that I won't ever forget because, you know, it was so close to racing.
No doubt. I mean, you thought you had, I mean, it had to be an emotional roller coaster to ride like that. And I'm sure it's been an emotional roller coaster for Adam McGill this season as well. Starting out so strong, things looking so well. It actually looked like he had the championship pretty much dialed in. Then Walker Fowler went on his terror and closed up the gap. He had a couple of bad situations, you know, so what was on the upswing all of a sudden went on a major downswing. He had 2 consecutive 8th place finishes just before the break and just out of the break at Snowshoe and Unadilla. I believe those 2 particular races might have been the ones that took the wind out of the sails for Adam McGill, but at the same time, it blew up gale force winds for the number 2 of Walker Fowler because he all of a sudden caught the wind that was missing Adam McGill's sails, and he took to it, and he set sail, and he went for it, and he set out on the mission that he started out on so many years ago, and that was to win the national title. The only thing different this year, it all of a sudden became reality.
Rodney, is he going to be the first champion that we've had has been a youth champion?
Yes, he is.
And he's just stepstone all the way to the very top.
Our first ATV racer to ever be an ATV youth champion and take it all the way to the XC1 Pro class and the overall title. So, yes, there is another historical fact, Fred Andrews, that you point out for us. Another reason that you're going to want to be over here for this auction to purchase this backdrop that we're going to be selling here in just a few minutes. Be over to the backdrop, the Max's Victory Lane. We're going to be selling that and auctioning that off in just a few moments, but we're going to be celebrating in about 5 minutes. I'm going to say about 3 minutes, to be honest with you.
I mean, have you seen the wave of the crowd, Rodney? Everybody is going to the finish line. We just got people walking by us and walking by us and walking by us just to see this historic event here at the Ironman.
A minute left to go according to timing and scoring, and we should be seeing now Jared McClure, unless something's changed. Neat thing there, McClure, Bithell, either one of those guys win. It's going to be pretty huge and monumental today, no doubt. And then back there in the number 3 spot, Cole Richardson. That was the last time we saw them come through. If there's any changes, we don't know of them yet.
I actually think it's McClure, Richardson, then Bithell.
You may be absolutely correct, sir. I think you are correct. Thank you for clearing that up.
Cole Richardson could get his first win.
You're absolutely right, and that would have he was within 8, maybe as much as 5 seconds, as few as 5 seconds a couple of times this lap when we saw him out there. So, and you never know. Cole could do it.
Yeah, you know, I don't even know if Jared McClure or Cole Richardson even noticed Adam McGill sitting there. So they could right now thinking they're still second and third.
Yeah, exactly. And it might be a pleasant surprise for these guys. as they push their way here to the final few moments of this AMSOIL Ironman GNCC. So according to timing and scoring right now, our leaders are officially late, but if they get back on time and we got back to McClure, we should be seeing them check in within the next 5 seconds or so, and still not the case. So at least not according to my calculations right now. We'll see what timing and scoring has them at. A 29:56 lap time for McGill last time, a 30:04 for Jared McClure. And here we go. This is Jared McClure making his way through the AMSOIL chicanes and on his way to history, his second win of 2015 and his first win of the Ironman GNCC. And there he does it, folks. The Cobra rises from the snake as the sneaky snake earlier this year and claims himself to be one of GNCC's top and best racers. And here comes the Cole train. Cole Richardson making his way around for a monumental second place position finish here at Ironman as he wraps up the 2013 season. And what a great pro debut we saw out of him today, at least a re-debut after 2 weeks ago in Ohio. He had those issues, but today he really showed what we've got to look forward to as far as that is concerned. And we wait on third place now. Freddie, who's going to capture the third place honors? Is Chris Bithell going to be able to hang on to that? Will Walker Fowler steal the thunder? We'll find out.
Here comes Chris Bithell right now, Rodney. Here's our just answered our own question.
It is.
Chris Bithell will be coming around for your third place finish.
And his final race in XC1 GNCC Racing, Chris Bithell takes the number 3 spot here at the Ironman GNCC and rides his way off into history. And there he is. Speaking of history, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the newest and a new GNCC champion, Walker Fowler. Wow, the crowd is going crazy over there. Can you hear them over the generators, over all the vehicles around here in the race machines? You can still hear the crowd yelling at the finish line right now, Fred Andrews. They were super stoked and pumped about that. The historical moment, the 4th rider in 22 years to be crowned an ATV GNCC champion. And there is that podium at that backdrop at the Max's Victory Lane. We're going to be auctioning that off. That is going to adorn the first ever championship autograph of Walker Fowler, and whoever gets that big piece of history. So get in your pockets and dig deep, and all the proceeds go to help out the local Montgomery County Free Clinic.
You know, Rodney, we got Jared McClure who won that race. His emotions are going through the roof. You got Chris Bithell. He got 3rd. He's on the podium his last race. He's going through the roof. And you got Walker Fowler. He's our new GNCC champion. I mean, it's crazy how many down there right now.
And Cole. I mean, you got Cole finishing second in his only second ever XC1 Pro race. So, I mean, really, look at the historical importance of that. And rounding all that out, I believe, is going to be Chris Borich whenever we get timing and scoring checked in here in the number 5 position. But this particular finish, this Ironman GNCC, looking at the names on this one, is more different than any GNCC finish I think we've seen in ATV history. If you look back, there's been a lot of consistency, and it's usually a rider will move on and another will take his place, another will move on, and so forth. But this time, man, I mean, you're looking at McClure. Now, McClure's been on the podium like 4 times here, but he's never won. Richardson's first time on the podium, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this might be like the 2nd or 3rd time over the course of his tenure for Chris Bithell. But wow, McClure, Richardson, and Bithell, I'll be surprised if anyone picked that for the AMSOIL Twitter contest, to be honest with you.
I agree 100%, Rodney. You know, I don't know that anybody would have picked that, but you don't have to be right to win. That's the greatest thing about that AMSOIL Twitter giveaway.
No doubt about it. And right now, as we get ready ourselves for podium celebrations and championship celebrations, GNCC Live will continue right after this.
General RV is going to help you go camping with locations across the nation and thousands of RVs to choose from. General RV is the nation's largest family-owned RV dealer. At General RV, you'll save thousands on everything from trailers that sleep the whole family right up to motorhomes that are amazing and so economical to travel in. General RV is the only dealer who can show you this much and save you this much. With a great deal from General RV, you'll discover how much fun camping can be.
Any engine, any season. At home, at the track, or on the trail.
All right, if we could get our top 3 riders up to the podium, please get our top 3 riders. Get our podium celebration underway. We're going to have a #1 plate presentation today as well to Walker.
And
we'd like to have our event
GNCC
presentation.
Live as we roll into our victory lane celebrations. We just wrapped it up, my friends. The 2015 AMSOIL GNCC Championship season and the infamous AMSOIL Ironman GNCC. Jared McClure, the Cobra, rises from the grasses as the sneaky snake this year to become a hard-striking rider to win this Ironman event. Cole Richardson, who, man, has been freight training all season long from the XC2 Pro-Am class in 2nd spot. And, of course, Chris Bithell, a historic and remarkable ride for that rider as he wraps up his GNCC racing career. And as we get set for podium presentations here in just a moment, we say congratulations to Trevor Sharp at Sharp144 Trevor. His podium prediction, Bithell, McClure, and Richardson. Oh, my, he had all 3 of them, not necessarily in the right order, but he did have all 3 of those riders. So congratulations to Trevor Sharp, and he sent it in at 2:02, so
he might want to play the lottery.
Time. Dude, that was a long time before that scenario ever developed, so you got to hand it, you got to give it to him. So congratulations to him. You got $250 in AMSOIL product coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, turning our attention down to the podium as he makes his way up onto the center of the box, we're going to have, to the second place position on the box, I guess it would be. Put your hands together for the first time as an XC1 Pro to the podium, Coltrane Cole Richardson. Rolling to the center of the box here today into the #1 spot for the Ironman GNCC. His dreams are coming true. There's no doubt about it. One that he had hoped to be able to bring home. We joked about it and laughed about it earlier today, and now he gets to do it. He gets to spend the entire winter as the last winner of a GNCC event. Put your hands together for the Cobra, Jared McClure. And coming to the podium last and certainly not least today, finishing in the #3 spot, his final GNCC race as an XC1 ATV Pro. How about it for Chris Bithell? Megawatt Matt Watson down on Max's victory lane with these guys, and this is a great place to be rubbing elbows today. There's no doubt about it. The historical importance of this podium, the historical importance of this race today, and the historical importance of what's coming up with the crowning of a new champion in a few moments. And again, we're going to be auctioning that backdrop off behind those guys, the Max's Victory Lane pink backdrop. It's going to have the first official Walker Fowler Championship autograph on that, and you could take that home, my friends. Stick around for the auction coming up right after this podium. Megawatt Matt Watson, let's give these guys, let's find out what these guys had to endure today.
Unbelievable set of circumstances here today. Amazing race. I tell you what, the 2 key players really became a second story here this afternoon, and these guys right here, the main story. We're going to talk to our 3rd place finisher. I just got roosted by this guy right here, Chris Bithell. So he comes up to me, unloads a big load of roofs right on me, celebrating. I'm a good sport. I could take it. But I'll tell you something. What an impressive ride today, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know what happened right there. It seemed like maybe the trannies kind of had enough for today. But, hey, it got me to the finish. That's all that matters, man. It just felt awesome today. You know, look at this crowd. Can you even ask for a better crowd, man? they were cheering us on all day long, and I mean, I think we put on a pretty good show for them. What do you say?
What do you say, guys? Hey, Chris, I'm going to take that as a yes. You know, you come off the track, you had this huge smile on your face, and you know what? To be satisfied and to have that kind of personal gratification out of the ride, dude, that tells me a lot of effort, a lot of planning, a lot of work went into this thing. And here you are up here on the podium, the last race of the year, so a good positive note to end the season on.
Yeah, actually, this is my career run. This is it. I'm done after this one. You have no idea how great it feels to podium here. I love Ironman. I love Indiana. I love this track. I love this place. I love these people. You know, you go down there to that hill climb, and those guys are willing to jump out on that hill and pull you out, you know, while their beer's in the other hand. There's no better feeling. There is nothing. So, I mean, I just throw it all to these guys. I love them. I love this place, man. I love racing here, and I had a blast today, in case you can't tell.
Awesome, man. Congratulations. Let's hear it, you guys, for Chris Bithell. Now he's going to thank his sponsors real quick. Now he's going to thank everybody that made it possible.
Again, every thanks goes out to the fans here, guys. I love you so much. My friends, my family, man, everybody come out here for me this weekend. They knew it was my last ride. They wanted to see me go, and go we did, man. We had so much fun today. You know, everybody, Max's Tires, like I said, this is a family effort. This is a family that, you know, helps me out. All my sponsors are family. I know them all by name. Let's see. You know, we got to go with Max's, man. Thank you very much for them guys. Precision, Stabilizers, Fox Shocks, Walsh, Hyper Wheels, Graphics Works, Indy, man. Everybody comes out to just help out. 4Works Carbon Fiber, IQ, HMF, just big-time players here, and I just love it, man. You know, you just can't ask for people like this anymore. My hat's off to everybody there. And, again, I want to hear you guys yell today. I want to hear you guys get rowdy, and I want to get rowdy later with you. Let's do it.
Wow, I want to tell you, if you guys aren't pumped up after that, there's something wrong with you people. You're dead. I'm telling you, this guy's amazing. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you part of our family. You've been an absolute a great representative. You're an absolute fantastic role model. It's just unbelievable to watch this career, and congratulations on it.
Yeah, really, thank you. Thank you, GNCC, for everything you've done. It's been a long time. I mean, 10, 12 years now I've been here running, doing this stuff, 9 years pro, and I'm out. I'm not going to come back, but I love everybody.
One more time, you guys, Chris Bithell. Amazing, amazing career right there. Now, over here to second place, man, Cole, the Cole train, man, pouring the coal to the engine today, bringing that machine up to second place, Cole. Absolute amazing performance. You have to be stoked.
That was a lot better than Powerline. But, no, we got off to a really good start compared to last race, and, you know, I just try to get my feet wet for next year and just kind of follow these guys up front, and got a little bit of arm pump early on, and last 2 laps I ended up reeling in on some of the guys and making a few passes, and I see McGill sitting in the creek, so that wasn't I hate to pass people like that, but we ended up second, and I know what it's going to take to run up here next year.
Right on, man. I want to tell you something. To watch you make the transition, to make you watch the jump, the determination, it's just absolutely incredible. We're looking forward to next year, man, and seeing you at a full season in this class.
Thank you. I mean, again, it wouldn't be possible with the whole NFAB being pro Yamaha team. My entire family, you know, they put in a lot of effort throughout the entire year. You know, Donnie from Yamaha, Randy, Max's Tires, Motowaz ATV Shocks, Graphic Works. It's also Yamaha's 60th anniversary, so we got the yellow and black going. And my mechanic, Aaron, you know, he was new to this year. This was his first year wrenching for me, and we've been up here every race, so definitely stoked to have him around. And just everybody out here, the entire crowd in Ironman every year is just awesome, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, I tell you what, we're pumped for you. Great ride today. Make some noise for Cole Richardson, you guys. And over here in the middle of the Vox today, the old Sneaky Snake. Now, they've changed the name from the Sneaky Snake to the Cobra, and the Cobra struck today. I want to tell you something, Jared. You had people on the edge of their seats. All 3 of you guys making different moves at different times and made an exciting race.
Yeah, me and Chris here got together early on and had a pretty good battle. We swapped a few times before the cornfields. Even Adam was in the mix there a few laps. You know, it was just an awesome day, like Chris said. Fans everywhere out there, you know, just cheering with their beer cans. You know, it was awesome. Ironman's one of my favorite tracks, so really, really happy to get a win up here. You know, snowshoe, another win this year. So 2 wins, man, I'll take it. I'm more than excited to end the season like this.
I tell you, Jared, like you say, you come out, and it's your last ride that everybody remembers. So guess what? Your last ride this season was a win, and that's what everybody's going to remember. Hey, who do you want to thank, man, for getting up here and getting this amazing feat done today?
Thank everybody that came out to the race here with me. My girlfriend, Sierra, my buddy, Jordan Coyote, my teammate, Randy. Just everybody that always comes to the races with me, helped me pit. My buddy, Ricky, was with gas. They really helped out today, and they're the reason I'm up here. Also, my guy John Bowers back home. He brought me here my first time in 2005 racing stock class. Just me and him in a pickup, and here we are 10 years later. I'm in the middle of the box, so definitely want to thank him. Harlan Foley, he's here. So pumped to get a win for him again. He's a huge part of the program. I mean, we bring the motorhome here. All wrapped ATVriders.com. Thanks Harlan for everything. Then we'll just, all the sponsors, Douglas Wheels and Tires. Johnny Leach came on board again this year and helped me out. Elka Suspension worked awesome. Texera Tech, Baldwin for this motor. I mean, out in the cornfields, nobody could touch me. So plenty of power. Definitely got to thank Spider Graphics keeping this thing looking good. HMF, IQ, Impact Solutions, Jay Goebel for helping me get some stuff dialed in with the suspension. Mark Spataro, Moto Pro Training, Dirtworks, Scott Goggles, Matocycle, Moose Racing for the gear all year, Precision Racing Products, Hot Rods, Pivot Works, DP Brakes, KG Clutches, Bellroy Oil, Weisco Pistons, Bell Helmets. I think that's about it. It gets long, but thanks everybody. Thanks to fans. Thanks Racer Productions. So happy.
There you have it, folks. Your overall winner here today, Jared the Cobra McClure. I'm sure these guys are anxious to pop the top on this champagne right here. All these kids gathered around down front ready for the champagne spray. We're going to get our XC2. We're going to get our XC2 program up here next.
Well, to the victor goes the spoils, and the spoils in GNCC, the sweet, sweet spray of champagne as Jared McClure gets the sweet victory taste for the second time here in 2015. And I tell you couldn't have a sweeter victory taste, I think, than one right here at the Ironman GNCC, Fred Andrews, because, man, when you win this one, like Jared said earlier this morning, man, they got to think about that all winter long. Look at that hammer he's got right there, that big hammer. That right there shows he's the man.
It sure does, Rodney. And like you said, winning here the last race of the year, it keeps your confidence for next year going. And like you said, you're the last guy to win, so going in the race, you're the favorite.
There you go. And again, such historical significance. McClure's with the win. Cole Richardson finishing that second. Look at that. That is such a cool trophy. Richardson taking second, and Bethel on his way out, finishing in a third-place position like that with the friends, the family, the fans all here this weekend. He's taking his shirt off. He's going to give that to somebody, I think. That's going out in the crowd. Look at that.
Thank you, Fly Racing, for the jersey. Look how happy he is. It's great for him to be on the podium his last race because he's never going to forget this race.
No doubt about it. I've always loved Chris and watching him make his way up through the ranks and into the pro class, and eventually as one of the top-tier riders has certainly been a great time for me. And, the last couple of years, what he's been able to do and achieve with his home grassroots program that he's had going on, just been phenomenal. And, a good farewell to him. I really hope to get to see him a lot more in the future. But, man, what we're seeing right now is the future of GNCC. McClure, the maturity level that we're seeing him at. Cole Richardson, the newest kid on the block, the new big name, and he's showing that he's ready to be a player. And, of course, you got Walker Fowler that we're going to be playing. Bryson Neal, obviously going to be a player in the years to come. You can't count out Chris Borch, a six-time GNCC champion next year whenever the green flag waves. And obviously, like we said, Walker Fowler, your newly crowned, or soon-to-be newly crowned, ATV GNCC champion. As you see, Jared McClure signing his autograph to that podium back there at Max's Victory Lane. We are going to be auctioning that off Race fans, do not go anywhere. If you want to take that podium home, it can be yours. And that is a very, I think, a great piece of historical memorabilia. So anybody that wants to be a part of the history of it, you want to stick around for this one and make your bids, no doubt about it. I believe that we're going to have a championship celebration. Look at that.
He's giving everything
He's
away.
giving his helmet away. Look at that. Chris Bithell is giving it all away. And rightfully so, man, because this sport has given him so much.
He must be really, really happy to give your helmet away. I can see the jersey in that, that's fine, but man, the helmet, my last helmet, my last podium,
yeah,
that'd be on the wall.
Yeah, the boots and the gloves and everything.
The pants, you can have all that, but
yeah, that helmet and stuff like that. I could say, but you know what? He might have given it to somebody really special in his
yep, could have been somebody who did a whole bunch for him all his whole career and all that. And you know, Cole Richardson, talk about him a little bit. You know, he had this biggest high being in Ohio last weekend, going to put in a good ride for his hometown crowd, and he had a lot of bad luck and didn't do very well, and the rebound to come back here to get second is really impressive.
It most certainly is, and that says a lot about him to be able to rebound from that, because, you know, we talk about it, and people talk, that step from XC2 to XC1 is such a large step, and we were like, well, it proves that Cole Richardson struggled there last year, but it also proved that if you stumble, you can get back up to speed real fast, and Cole did just exactly that.
Yeah, I thought, his first race would be really hard coming into it because you expect so much because you got there from the second row. You always got up there front and got on the podium, but it is totally different starting in the front, but it only takes a race or two for a guy to figure it out, and you can tell he's already figured it out, and, he's got a great teammate in Walker Fowler, so he's probably asked Walker a few questions maybe last week about different things, and I'm sure Walker helped him along, but it's good to see that he's got a big future, with a guy that's a champion being your teammate. All you can do is learn.
That is for sure. We're setting things up for XC2 Pro-Am, but I think we've got a championship #1 that we're going to be divvying out here in just a couple of moments. We're going to stick around on RacerTV.com for a few more minutes for that, and then we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back about I believe as close to 4 o'clock as possible. We're going to get that UTV race, the side-by-side race, national championship up for grabs, and that one coming up too, Fred. So this day really is not over yet as far as championships are concerned.
No, Rodney, it's like a day of champions here today, and it's cool it came down to the last race.
It is. It most definitely is. And I think it's cool that these race fans, that Crawfordsville, Indiana race fans, get to witness this because they bring so much to this sport, man. Just being here and being a part of this for the last 20 years, they have brought so much to our sport. And to be able to bring this type of event to them, it really is an honor for us at Racer Productions to do that.
And it started out, Rodney, we came here, we had a whole bunch of people, and it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. It's amazing how the word of mouth is about how much fun it is to come watch racing out here.
For sure. And race it. I've raced it. I've watched it. I've been a part of it since 2002 myself each and every year. And I don't know that ever in the future there'll be a time that I'll ever want to miss it. I can promise you that. If I'm never here, it's not because I don't want to be, that's for sure. It's because something certainly has taken me away from this one, because this right here, this is as big as Christmas around my place as far as I'm concerned.
Rod, talk about different things about how much this place has grown and gotten better. I can remember when we used to pull in here, and they would have just taken the bean or just taken the cornfield out, and it would rain, and you're like, well, just pull me in. They used to just pull people in, but you can see how much nicer they've made this. And right now you can see Adam McGill, even though he didn't finish the race, he did get the Whole Shot Award, and maybe we can get a little word on him and what happened to his bike.
Hey, thanks, you guys. We got Adam McGill up here. Adam, a little tough luck here one more time. That seems to be the story for the season. You know what? Got a check for you here. Got the AMSOIL $250 Whole Shot Award. But tell us real quick about the race, man.
Had a good start. Was running up front, put the Baldwin engine to the front. Thing held up great. Got down to the first creek crossing, come through it, held that son of a bitch wide open, bucked me right off of it, and know where I went. I got back up. I think I was like 6th or 7th or something like that, working my way up, got in the lead, felt awesome. I mean, the bike was working great. All my sponsors this year, everything was just clicking, and, Team Mick Honda, me and Jared was up front, and the bike just come down the hill and went boop, and that was it. That's all she wrote.
Hey, typical madman fashion, you know, either win it or bend it, one or the other. Hey, know you got a UTV race to get over to. Hey, thanks a lot, man. It's been a million laughs watching you this year. It's been so dramatic watching everything. You always entertain us, no question about it, and we look forward to seeing you next year, man.
For sure, for sure. I'm hoping we put a good show on for you guys. Definitely want to tell Walker Fowler, congratulations. Never thought he would beat me a race, but never thought he'd put one together and beat me in a championship. But, you know, buddy, I'm proud of you. Good job. But I'm going to kick your ass next year, so be ready.
Hey, there you have it, the Mountaineer Madman. And with that being said, we're going to take care of our XC2 podium. Marty Christopherson, third place. Here we are again, man. Another trip to the podium, Marty. Another great ride.
Yeah, honestly, this was probably the hardest I've rode all year. I didn't have an ideal day. Got lucky to be up here, but, you know, it was a fun track. Had a good start. Just got buried in that first water crossing. Was back with the A classes by the time I got going, and I think I was 15th at the end of the first lap. So it was just catching up all day, and you know, Greg Cover, he had a pretty bad crash right before the finish. Got around him, and Kenny Schick was there, and he was nice enough to let me back by him because he saw I was helping Greg. So it was a very eventful last lap, eventful race, but just happy to finish up here. So.
Well, I know one thing. You finished the last race of the season on the podium. You had an amazing season, and I know you have a bunch of people you want to thank.
Yeah, you know, my friend Spencer, he's been helping out all year at the Nationals. I can't thank him enough for all his help. His dad Doug, my girlfriend Kate, she got third today too. So a pair of threes in the WXC class. Drew Peters, my parents, Ross Benson, High Gear Suspension, Dillinger's Celtic Pub, BRM Off-Road, TC Racing Engines, Moose Racing, GBC Tires, you know, Hauser, everybody that helps out. I can't thank them out enough.
Well, great job, Marty. Put your hands together for third place today, Marty Christopherson. Over here on the other end, Randy, man, second place today. A bit challenging out there today?
Yeah, it was a good race. Like Marty said, the first lap was pretty interesting. There was, oh boy, got a little hectic out there, but track was perfect and had a great time.
Well, I tell you what, it was a heck of a ride, and it was a heck of a season for you as well. You know, you had some really bright moments, and I know there's a ton of people in your program that you want to thank as well.
Yeah, I got to thank Jared McClure and his family, JMR, everything they did. It was just awesome. I got to congratulate him on his another first place finish, so that's awesome. The team's doing great, so it's just so awesome. I got to thank Harlan with ATV Riders. He gave us the camper this year, and man, we had a good time. So. Got to thank Douglas Wheels, HMF, Dirtworks, Precision, Baldwin, Jay Goebel with Impact Solutions, Elka, Texera, everybody else out there. Spider Graphics, they're out here. They're great people. And thank you guys so much.
Let's hear it for second place, Randy Hamilton, you guys. And over here in the middle, for the first time in our XC2 class. Now, Wesley, we've been on podiums all over the place, man. Loretta Lynn's, GNCCs, all kinds of different races, man. Here you are stepping up to the next challenge in your career, and we come out today on top with a podium. You have got to be stoked with that.
Oh, yeah, it's an awesome feeling. I've had an awesome year, 3 championships, and this is just awesome to top it off, and going to go home and just get ready for next year.
Hey, man, what do you think about this Indiana crowd out here, man, cheering for you?
Oh, it's awesome. It's a lot better than being amateurs, and just had a lot of fun today.
Well, I tell you what, these people, they were making all kinds of noise for you guys out there today, and I know you have a bunch of people in the program you want to thank for getting up here in the middle of this podium.
I can't thank my family enough, especially my dad. He's always paying. My grandfather, everyone else, my Uncle Bobby, my cousin Chris, just the whole family. Fly Racing, Hetrick Racing, ITP Tires is a huge help this year. FTR Graphics making the bike look good. The Cherubies, Forework, Scott's, Twin Air, Maxima Racing Oils, IQ Equipment, and everyone else out there that helps, and all the fans.
Well, unbelievable ride. Make some noise, you guys, for Wesley Wolf, our winner here today in XC2. Wesley, you know what to do with this. You're no stranger to that, man. These kids down here looking like they want to get wet. And there it is, the champagne spray from your winner, Wesley Wolf. Next, we're going to have our group picture for Ken Hill right here.
And it looks like the swag is going to be flying. Congratulations to our XC2 Pro-Am class as well, and a heartfelt congratulations to my little buddy there, Wesley Wolf, a real good friend of mine and his family, and to see him be able to pull this off, amazing. 2 ATV National Motocross Championship titles in the A class, a College A championship here in GNCC, and his first ride as an XC2 Pro-Am to the center of the box. Way to go, Wesley Wolf. Congratulations and welcome to the big show, my friends. And I think Wesley is a name that we're all going to get to know over the course of the next couple of years. And I think we're going to see a lot of the same things we've seen out Cole Richardson, maybe even Walker Fowler just before him. So some pretty remarkable things are on the horizon as far as GNCC is concerned. We may be wrapping things up and looking back in the past and saying it's all coming to an end. But, you know, at the same time today, this, my friends, has been one of the biggest previews of what GNCC and ATV racing may hold for us here in the GNCC Racing Nation. Matt?
Hey, thanks a lot, Rodney. Hey, I need Austin Abney. Where's Austin Abney at? Let's get him up here in the center of the podium right now. Austin Abney is our XC2 ATV Whole Shot Award winner today. All right, folks, today's XC2 ATV Whole Shot Award winner, Austin Abney. Now, Austin, you know, oh, you know what? I got you mixed up with Top Amateur again, Stonebreaker, and they just handed me that too, you know. I tell you something. When you got that whole shot today, what was going through your mind, man? You know, the ultimate place to be, that's what every rider wants on the start, and you got it.
It was definitely the ultimate place to be, but I didn't capitalize on it very well. Second turn, I put it on its top and flipped back over and got back going and started chasing everybody again. You're all right, man. And well, it's charging there. I got hooked up with Marty for a little bit and checked in 17 first lap. And then after that, started charging some more and got into some trouble on the Ironman hill and busted a front wheel, and that ended my day.
Well, I can tell you this much. You was enjoying it while it lasted, wasn't you?
I definitely was. I had to say I had a smile on my face as I was flying through the air. So.
And how cool is it to say you led the GNCC today?
It's pretty neat, man. It's a good time.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, congratulations. Awesome performance today. A little bad luck, but you know what? I'm sure we'll see you next year.
Definitely. I'll be out here with the SICK crew again, and I'd like to thank everybody out there, Demery Motorsports, Todd there. I tell you, man, I couldn't have got that whole shot without him. So the whole SICK Racing crew, all my guys from home that came and watched me, all my sponsors, thanks a lot.
Awesome. Jason Stonebreaker with our Whole Shot Award today.
All righty. Congratulations. I believe Jake Stonebreaker taking the XC2 whole shot and picking himself up an extra $100. And now coming up next is the crowning moment, folks. The moment you've been all waiting for. And stick around. We're going to auction off that Max's Victory Lane podium backdrop immediately following this. Well, I can tell you, my first introductions to Walker Fowler came in the form of a two-wheel motorcycle racer that was one of the fastest and one of the top youth GNCC pilots on the motorcycle. Then in 2004, rumors and thoughts of a youth ATV race started coming about, and all of a sudden it came on the schedule, and it was a race here at the Ironman. October 23rd was the date, 2004 was the year. Your first ever ATV youth winner in GNCC racing was one kid by the name of Walker Fowler. Today, some 11 years later, he rolls to the podium, to the center of the stage, to the center of the GNCC Racing Nation, and to the center of history. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your new GNCC ATV champion, Walker Fowler!
Wow. I don't know there's anything else we can say to that, Walker, but I tell you right now we want to introduce Roy Jansen. He's the Racer Productions Director of Competition, and he would like to present you with your #1 plate. Roy?
Well, you know, since we started this series back in 1984, there have only been 7 names that have won the championship. The prestigious list of winners is a great group to be part of, and it is such a pleasure and such an honor for us to be able to present you this #1 plate, which I know will be the first in a line of more. Congratulations for a great year.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. This is unbelievable. I can't.
We race for championships.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Hey, Roy, thank you so much. We're going to get a quick word with Walker here. If we stand in the middle of the podium here. There we go. Now, I want to tell you something. You guys know how to create the drama, know how to make it exciting. I want to tell you, you guys brought it, like last year, down to the final event, to the final lap just about, okay? Let me try to turn this down just a bit, you guys. Is that any better? There we go. Now we got it. And as usual, when it come down to it, when it comes to the pressure, cool and calm under fire. Typical Walker Fowler style, man. Cool, calm, collected, and calculated.
Not the first lap. A huge struggle. Honestly, wow, this is not good. Oh, should we go this way?
You know, how many times we've been on this mic today and we haven't had a problem? So, hey, Walker, it's all you right now, buddy. Mr. Cotter got us.
Hey, like I said, the first lap, tried to get a good start. I think I went into the woods 4th, which I was like, hey, you know what, this will get the job done today. This will be great. Made a few moves, got up into 2nd, and I don't know what happened. The wheels started to fall off that first lap. Just ended up upside down, and seeing everyone go past me, knowing I'm last in the pro class, and that's not what I need to do today, and just had to take a breather, get the machine flipped over, inspect it real quick, and then just just get my bearings and start over, hit the reset button, and, get in the top 10. When I come through in 12th the first lap, I was just like, oh, man, this is not good, not good. And, we kept everything together. It wasn't perfect by any means, but, man, sure feels good now. I got to tell you guys, this is it's worth all the hard work.
I know one thing. I watch the hard work that goes into the program each and every week. I've got to know you guys over the last couple years, and I can tell you, one of the big parts of your program, Mark, no question, this thing's always in tune. This thing's always ready to go. But I got to tell you, man, from an outside looking in, your dad, Dennis is the man, dude. That guy's there, 110% behind his guy. And I want to send a shout out to you. I want to tell you something. I recognize all the effort and all these guys put in, but congratulations to you as a dad today for sure. And I know that after last year's finish, this is sort of satisfaction and gratification.
I wasn't ready last year. I didn't think that until about midway through the season this year, and I knew that if I would have won last year, I don't know if I would have won it this year. And by losing last year, you learn a lot when you kind of get kicked, and you got to kind of pick up the pieces and figure everything out again. And we did that. Definitely, like you said, my dad's been behind me 100%, but my mom too. They've both been here forever, and I can't thank my family enough. That's the most important thing.
Right on, dude. Now, I know one thing. We're going to take a few minutes. We're going to thank all these guys that have helped with the machine and the gear and all that, but you summed it up right there. It's all about family, and it's all about a team, no question. And the GNCC Racing family is proud you're our champion today for sure.
I know all these guys, I'm going to try to fight these tears, but the racing family sure is special, and it's been an honor to, start in 2004 here, at kind of the inaugural bring back of youth ATVs, and 11 years later to be the champion of this series, and people that have literally watched me grow up, and I've watched other kids grow up now, and this is surreal. 23 years old. I hope I got 10 left in me, and I'm ready to keep this #1 around a long time.
Well, I tell you, we're pumped for you. Crawfordsville, let's hear it. Your 2015 champ, Walker Fowler!
Well, there it is, folks. History right here before us. And, wow, what an amazing day. What an amazing season. What an amazing career for that rider right there. As you can see, Mama's happy, Daddy's happy, Walker's happy, and Mark Notman, who has been a huge and monumental part of this program over the last few years, is extremely ecstatic and happy as this whole family and this whole team worked so very hard for this moment. And as Walker said, this is a feeling and something he wants to hang on to. So with that, my friends, stick around there at the podium. We're going to be auctioning things off, and stick around on RacerTV.com as we'll be back with more GNCC Live. It's the UTV side of things coming up here in just a few moments. On behalf of Fred Andrews, Megawatt Matt Watson, I'm Rodney Tomlin. Great day, everybody.